Thanks for coming. I didn't expect to be this many people today, but thank you again for coming. I'm Fina, one of the advisors for EducationUSA here at America. I'll be moderating today. It's gonna be kind of like a long day, but I promise you it's gonna be fun, a lot of information for you. And we actually would like to start with what EducationUSA is, because just in case we got some people here who have never been to America before, have never heard about EducationUSA before. EducationUSA is part of the US State Department. We have over 400 international student advising center in more than 170 countries. We have a lot of services for you, and it's free of charge. We give you information about how to study in the US, and in Indonesia, tidak hanya ada di America, but we actually have 8 centers with 10 advisors all over Indonesia. So please check us out. We got 2 in Jakarta, we got 2 also in Surabaya, we got 1 in Medan, Malang, Makassar, and Banda Aceh. So if you have any family member or friends who are in one of the cities, you can basically tell them that we are here for you. We offer you 5 services. The first step is research your option. So if you know that you want to study in the US, definitely this is not for you guys yang udah keterima. So those who with name tags are the ones who already get accepted. Jadi yang kalian yang belum berangkat, and then after this event you want to mingling and basically ask about pergi kemana and all that stuff, you can ask them. But so if you're still planning to study in the US, we can sit down and talk about the first step, research your option. Number of options for you to study in the US. Is it going to be private school or something like that? And then of course, step number 2 is equally important. You definitely want to plan ahead on how you finance your study. Is it going to be full scholarship, partial scholarship, self-funding, and what have you? And then of course, completing your application. It's fun, or maybe not, but we are here basically guiding you every step of the way, checking your essay, your resume, and all that. And after that, you come back to me and you said, hey, I got accepted, congratulations. We can definitely go on. I can give you information about how to apply for the student visa. And of course, the last one is my favorite one, which is today, because it happened only once a year. And this is very, very exciting because I see so many familiar faces, the one that I helped from the beginning until you got accepted, and then here you are, you're actually leaving. Is prepare for your departure. We have it usually around this month. And of course, we also open this for public, basically. So if you want to basically just know in advance on how to prepare your, before you depart, this is basically for you also. Of course, if you like to get in touch with us and you don't want to miss with our upcoming events, you can definitely go to this website for our upcoming events, what happened with EducationUSA all over Indonesia, not only at America. So if you have fair, we're going to put it in this website. All right, so I already have like some schedules with me just to give you a heads up. It's going to be fun. I'm going to start with the first presentation, which is checklist. So if you are leaving anytime soon, I'm going to talk about that. And later on, we're going to talk about housing, fun, security when you got already in the States. And then moving on, we're going to talk, it's getting more fun, talk about academic expectation and campus life. And for those of you who are basically the acceptance students, if you have your raffle ticket, have it with you because we're going to announce the door prize winner, and then followed by a break for 30 minutes at 3:15. And then after that, we're going to talk about adjusting to life in America, culture shock, how we can handle that. And then we're going to talk about, we have a special guest from one of the students who are currently studying in the US. He's actually the president of the Premias Nasional, because you definitely want to hear about this, because if you're going to study in the States, wherever you are in the United States, you will want to get in touch with the Premias there, right? So you want to hear about how you can get this information and what have you. And then of course, the visa consul from the US Embassy Jakarta will coming in to basically talk to you about how to maintain the student visa, or basically how to, if you haven't applied for the student visa, you want to hear this also, because it's gonna talk you step by step on how you can apply, because it's very, very simple actually. And of course, after that, we're gonna have a discussion and Q&A. This is definitely your time to ask as many questions as you have. But don't worry, I mean, even when we're done with the event, we're gonna mingling outside. We have heavy tajil if you guys are fasting today, and who have not, yang nggak fasting juga, of course, it's open for everyone. And then, of course, ada Ambassador Donovan will be coming here as well to basically congratulate you. And yeah, it's gonna be fun, guys. So without further ado, actually, I'm gonna basically just start my first presentation. But before that, yang belum pernah ke America, I just want to let you know that there are 2 advisors here at America, but in Jakarta, we have 4. My colleague Iqbal and David, they are outside. They are based in the US Embassy Jakarta. Feel free to come in there. Just make an appointment 24 hours before to get an access to get in. But if you want to just coming in here to America, open for public. You don't have to make any appointment. There's always one advisor standing by. All right. And then also we open every day, like seriously every day, including public holiday. Try us. Like try to come in on a public holiday. One of us is here. Okay. So pre-departure planning, again, so very excited. Congratulations for you guys yang akan berangkat tahun ini. I'm gonna talk about checklists. If you're leaving anytime soon, please have your note ready, right? Packing, and basically before leaving, you may want to have the TSA accepted locks. It's basically everywhere. It's very easy to get. I think S Hardware has that. Just ask them the one that it's the TSA accepted locks. Why? Because just in case mereka agak pengen kayak double check what is in your luggage and they need to open it, they can, instead of, they make a scratch on your luggage, because trust me, it happened to me before and it's not fun at all. Karena definitely koper rusak and you don't want that. So if you use a TSA accepted lock, they already have the lock, so they can open it just fine. So basically just want to see if ada something yang menurut mereka, they need to double check on it. And check baggage allowance. Usually for international flight, they allow you to have 2 pieces of luggage, and each jadi setiap luggage-nya itu tidak melebihi 23 kg. And they pretty strict about it. Sometimes here, kalau misalnya kayak local flight, kalau misalnya kayak lebih dikit, they kind of like okay with that. But if you want to go abroad, they kind of like strict about it. So even kalian hanya ada 23,5, they might not allow that. And then the hassle starts, right? Like they're gonna ask you to open like your luggage and then take something out. So kalau bisa dicek dari awal, or what I like to do if I don't have like a weight scale is by coming into the airport pretty early. Dan biasanya kalau misalnya counternya belum dibuka, you know, they have the thing where you're gonna put your luggage anyway, right? And itu kan kayak selalu nyala. You can definitely just put it just to basically check if you are exceeding the weight scale or not. But definitely double check again with the luggage allowance, but usually it's 2 pieces, right? Although I'm not suggesting you bring actually 2 pieces. I'm gonna talk to you about that later, why. But yeah, and then the next one is, if you want, you can pick your seat ahead via airline's website, especially if you buy the ticket from the airlines and not from an agent. Because just assuming that you guys are in the economy class, I like to be put on the front row of economic seat, because I like when I land to the US or I land to wherever, I like to get out as soon as possible. Biasanya kalau misalnya kalian nggak ganti seatnya, usually they're gonna put it on the very back. I mean, it's up to you. It's just a little bit of tips from me. And then of course, if you want to kind of like treat it VIP a little bit, you can definitely do an online check-in. I still realize here in Indonesia, not a lot of people actually do an online check-in. Jadi ketika kalian datang, kalian tetap harus kayak get in line with so many who haven't. My tips is I like to do an online check-in at home 24 hours before. So when you get there, biasanya mereka sudah ada kayak counter terpisah di mana itu untuk siapapun yang sudah online check-in. So all you need to do is basically just get there, drop your luggage, and they're gonna print you the boarding pass if you haven't, right? This is also a little bit of tips from me. Check baggage. Enough clothes. I mean, think about it. If you are studying for like only a year or maybe 2 years, this is maybe different for you who wants to do a 4-year study for bachelor's degree. But I mean, kalau misalnya kayak studinya hanya 1 tahun, 9 months, right, or 2 years, you may want to bring just enough clothes and not like put everything in that 2 luggages, because with that short amount of time, by the time you come back, you only have like 2 luggages limit, right? And then assuming that you're going to shop, you're going to bring some souvenirs from the US, and then you have no room left when you go back to Indonesia. So I like if it's possible, which it is actually possible, if you can just bring 1 luggage with you and enough clothes. I mean, trust me, you're gonna shop there, right? You're gonna shop there, trust me. And so just bring enough clothes. And you can start think about buying universal adapter from here, especially if you are bringing in laptop or cell phone that you buy from Indonesia using the 2 plug, and it's totally different in the US, right? Usually kalau laptop sama handphone dari segi voltage, you don't have to worry about it because it's already like international accepted, but you definitely need the universal adapter. You can easily find that here. And then you can bring local meds if you think that you can't get it over there. I'm going to talk about this also on my next few slides. And then long underwear or long john, is that what it's called, if you're familiar with that? I mean, if you're going to be in the States where you're going to experience winter, you definitely maybe want to kind of like start bringing 1 or 2 or 3, right? Indonesian souvenirs is something that I kind of like regret when I studied in the US because I never thought about that before. And you actually want to bring some because there are so many tons of activities that you can join in the US, like International Coffee Week or something like that, where basically they gather all international students, and this is definitely the time for you to kind of like start to show off about Indonesia. And I came empty-handed, like I don't have anything, and then it just sucks because there's so many other countries, they have like their own souvenirs that they can show off, and it's really nice if you can bring some, like I don't know, as simple as the batik tablecloth or anything that is, you know, kind of like Indonesia, like batik and all that. That would be great. The carry-on bag, usually it's around maximum of 7 kilos, but you definitely want to double check again. Do not separate, this is very important guys, do not separate your passport and I-20. You definitely want to put your I-20 together with your passport. It has to go together. They are meant to be together, right? You don't want to separate that. Important contacts or addresses in the US, put it on your phone, or if you're still kind of like old school, write it down in a piece of paper. Comfortable clothes and shoes, because this is like a very long flight. You don't want to wear heels. You can go as extreme as I did. Usually I even like wear sandals, but just wear something comfortable. And then double check on the destination, on your destination in the US, check the weather. Is it cold there? So you might want to bring some extra with you. Bring laptop with you, books if you're a bit of a reader. And yes, you can bring liquids. I'm going to talk about this on the next slide. It's kind of like important if you've never been to the US before, if this is your first time. It has to be in a quart-sized Ziploc. I actually bring an example here if you just have no clue what it is, how it look like. It doesn't have to be like the Ziploc brand, but I mean, you can just get anything, any Ziploc bag, but this is the idea of how big it is, and you have to put all the liquids in this little bag. So if you have like some fancy perfume that is over 100 milliliter, you may not want to bring that because they're gonna just throw it away, like literally throw it away. So it's a bit strict about the liquid rule. So I actually have one slide for this. So any liquid that you want to bring, usually like, because this is like a long flight, You may want to bring like toothpaste, right? Like odol, or if you want to kind of like wash your face, you want to bring your cleanser or lotion and all that. Yes, you can definitely bring that, but you have to put it in a 100 milliliter container, and all of that have to be fit in this one Ziploc bag, all right? I think you got it, right? The most frequently asked questions when one is about to fly to the US is, can I bring a lot of money? Can I bring as much as money that I have? You technically can, but if you think that you're going to bring in 10,000 US dollar, especially in cash or like gold, or maybe not gold, right? But I mean, I got some people who might bring actually 10,000 US dollar in cash for whatever reason, for paying the tuition or something like that. You can definitely bring that much money, but you may want to report it by letting them, the US Immigration Service know. You may want to put it in the customs declaration form that everybody will get. So usually before you land to the United States, mereka akan, yang di pesawat akan kayak ngasih kamu kayak a piece of blue form. You have to fill it in, all the information like the flight and what have you, and then they're gonna ask if you're bringing animals and stuff like that. And then this question will be in that form if you bring more than 10,000. Don't lie. You do not want to lie, because if they actually find out that you bring a 10,000 US dollar and then you didn't report that in the form, they may actually take the money. I'm not kidding, but they actually might take the money, and then you have to just deal with the lawyer and all that. You don't want to be in that situation. So because it's technically okay. So if you do bring one, just say yes, it's fine, right? But if you don't have to say it. Can I travel with medication? Absolutely, yeah, absolutely yes, but any prescription medication should be in the original container with the doctor's prescription in there, okay? And then if you bring like, misalnya yang kalau cewek-cewek ada obat muka gitu kan, you can bring it with you as well, but usually we are suggesting you not bring more than a 90-day supply. So kalau bisa jangan terlalu banyak, all right? Can I bring in food to the United States? Absolutely, but there are some rules on what stuff that you can bring and what you cannot bring. Anything related to meat, daging, no. As sampai misalnya kayak if you want to bring like Indomie, right? It's very common if you want to bring one, but avoid those that has meat flavor in it, because they are quite strict about it. Some of the officers, if you are the unlucky one where they are basically open your luggage in front of you, they're gonna ask, or maybe not in front of you, they're just gonna open it. That's why I mentioned earlier you need the TSA accepted locks. But if they found out that you bring in like even pre-packaged food like Indomie or any kind of like other snacks that has, you know, like the word meat in it, they usually just gonna throw it away. So if you want to bring Indomie, just find the one that, I don't know, the other flavor, right? Let's see. Do I need to bring kitchen appliances? Actually, unnecessary because of the different voltage. So it's not gonna like, you're gonna basically blow it up. It's gonna be dangerous unless you have a kitchen appliance where it's kind of like international accepted. But I mean, it's quite unnecessary. I mean, and then you start thinking like, but hey, I need to eat rice. I need my rice cooker. You can just get it there for a fairly cheap price. Like seriously, fairly cheap price. You can definitely, or if you're familiar with like online shopping, you can basically buy it from one of these websites. So, do I need to buy and bring winter coats from Indonesia? It depends on where you're going to be in the States and when. So, for example, if you're coming into the US in September, and then you're going into Minnesota, for example, it might already start to get very chill, and then you might want to bring at least just one to get you through the day, but you don't have to bring like more than one. I mean, usually it's fairly cheaper to buy like a winter coat in the States, whereas here in Indonesia. So you can definitely check one of these stores, or again, if you're feeling you want to buy it online, you can do that. But again, it's quite unnecessary. This is also an idea of why you should like pack quite light before you leave. Do I need to pack Indonesian food? Yes, you can. Maybe like some favorite snacks or favorite sambal and all that. But you definitely want to hang on with this website. This is like a holy grail when I was in the States. They have like this one huge factory in somewhere in the States where they're basically bringing in so many Indonesian products in there and some other products from other countries. So for example, if you're making friends with international students from outside the US, you can basically tell about this website. I know the price is definitely not like when you get in Indonesia, but it's still quite like a friendly price. So again, I would say you don't have to bring a lot because to get you through the day when you're there, we got Ifu Depot there. Okay, and then you finally land in the US. And what happens next? You're going to meet with the immigration and custom. It's a bit scary to think about it because you're going to talk, basically ini jadi kayak kalian nanti proses interview visa. It's kind of like that, but it kind of like in the more intimidating kind of like environment, but you don't have to be nervous about it because I'm gonna tell you now why. So usually it depends on where you're going to land. Biasanya di airport besar sekarang mereka sudah minta kalian untuk scan your passport before you meet the immigration office. I think it's for them to make the process faster. So for example, New York already has that. So when you land, they already have like some machines where they are going to allow you to scan your passport. And then I know some for the first timer, you might kind of like, oh yeah, I don't know what to do. Everybody seems like very tegang and all that. Don't worry, there's always one officer there. You can definitely just ask for help if you don't know how to do it. And then after that, you're gonna be put in line to meet the immigration officer. And the first thing you need to do is basically just relax. I know the officer might look very like, not friendly and all that, but they're actually just tired because they have to deal with so many of us from all over the world. So, I mean, if you want to start like conversation, I usually did that just to kind of like break the ice. It's just, like how are you doing and all that. But again, just relax. Definitely eye contact. You don't want to look suspicious. Just relax. And then again, you don't want to separate your passport and your I-20. Have it with them. Don't give anything before they ask. So, but usually the thing that they ask is the passport and the I-20. Again, this is where you want to have your important contact addresses ready. I mean, they're not like going to ask where's the address? Like I want to know. No, but usually they're gonna ask like, so where are you gonna stay? And again, just be honest. If you don't have anywhere to stay yet, I mean, in terms of like the housing, you can tell. I mean, are you going to stay with your friends? Just tell it. I'm going to stay with my friends. I'm going to find a housing when I'm here. And if you're staying in a hotel, you might want to mention like which hotel and all that. But the whole thing is just for you to show them that you know where you're going after this, and not knowing is you don't want to do that, right? And then after that, they're gonna like make a stamp here and there, and then they're gonna ask you to do the fingerprints for them. And please hold to your customs declaration form because you don't want to give it to the officer because this is for the very last one. So and then after that, usually you're gonna get your passport. Congratulations, you made it, because that's very important. Because not trying to scare you or anything, but if anything happened, they actually might reject you to get in, even though you're already in the States. For if you have any problem, if you look nervous or you have like an incomplete documents and all that. So, but again, just relax. And after that, once you get your passport, basically kalian sudah selesai. Nanti kalian kasih customs declaration formnya ke ada another the last officer that you're going to meet, and just give it, and then you're basically out, and then you go into the baggage claim. All right. And then from there, you're basically on your own. Welcome to the US. There are so many ways for you to get around or get to your destination. My favorite one is the shared ride airport shuttle. I would say this is, I mean, it depends on how far it is from your airport to your destination, but it usually starts with $30. But I mean, of course, online taxis is there. We got Uber, we got Lyft. If you want to do like the old ways, airport taxis, or if you want to be quite adventurous like I did, I usually like to start checking out their train or buses system, but you definitely want to do it beforehand. So to kind of like get an idea on how to get the ticket and what have you, right? Also the shared ride airport shuttle, you also want to start like make the reservation in advance as well. And welcome to the United States. After that, what is the first few things that you have to do as an international student? I am actually going to invite one of our panelists, Mas Akim Dharmawan. He's actually the USAID PRESTASI alumni. So if you have some PRESTASI students going to the US this year, please talk to Mas Akim, but I give it to Mas Akim. Iya, ini next, yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, nama saya Akim Dharmawan. Tadi disebutkan juga oleh Mbak Vina, saya alumni dari USAID PRESTASI untuk doctoral program di St. Louis University. Jadi saya sekolah 2010, selesai akhir 2015. Jadi kurang lebih 5 tahun untuk doctoral programnya. Gitu. Jadi sekali lagi saya ucapkan selamat buat teman-teman yang sudah diterima di kampus di Amerika. Jadi dalam rangka persiapan buat berangkat, jadi mudah-mudahan orientasi ini bisa memberikan bekal sedikit buat teman-teman. Tadi seperti yang saya ingin menyambung dari Mbak Vina bilang, pada saat di imigrasi itu memang sangat penting pada saat masuk. Jadi sebelum masuk US itu biasanya semua orang agak takut pada saat menghadapi imigrasi. Jadi relax itu penting banget. Karena waktu kasus saya, kita kena random checking dan kita harus ditahan selama kurang lebih 6 jam di bandara tanpa pemberitahuan apapun. Tapi itu nggak usah khawatir, pokoknya ikutin prosedur yang mereka minta. Jadi setelah 6 jam kita dipanggil keluar dan kita boleh lewat. Jadi pas kita tanya ada masalah apa, mereka juga nggak bisa bilang apa, tapi yang penting adalah tetap tenang. Bahwa itu adalah memang prosedur yang biasa mereka lakukan. Don't be scared, pokoknya santai aja. Nah, tadi biasanya pada saat kita sudah exciting nih, udah nyampe di Amerika, udah keluar dari bandara, mau ke tempat kita hotel ataupun misalnya ke tempat rumah yang kita akan tempati, sangat normal sekali kalau teman-teman nanti merasa bahwa seperti alien gitu. Karena tiba-tiba harus ke tempat yang baru, nggak tahu mesti kemana gitu ya. Apalagi kalau zaman saya dulu saya masih sendirian. Jadi di St. Louis University itu kebetulan tidak ada perkumpulan mahasiswa Indonesianya. Jadi masih gamang dan galau. Jadi nggak usah khawatir, itu hal yang sangat wajar. Jadi yang sangat alami, teman-teman akan merasa disorientasi. Di sisi lain exciting karena ngelihat hal yang baru, tapi di sisi lain juga ada ketakutan bahwa saya mau ngapain ya di sini nantinya gitu. Jadi dan biasanya gangguan yang sering kita alami juga adalah kita bisa jadi sering pusing dan ya tadi gamang, kita mau ngapain di sini gitu. Jadi itu yang biasanya sering kali dialami. Dan yang umumnya adalah kita menjadi agak susah untuk tidur karena ada perbedaan waktu yang cukup panjang antara Indonesia dengan Amerika, kurang lebih 12 jam. Jadi kalau di sana malam ya di sininya siang gitu. Jadi itu sangat mengganggu sekali. Tapi sebenarnya ada beberapa trik yang bisa teman-teman lakukan. Jadi untuk menghindari beberapa jet lag yang akan dialami. Jadi biasanya kalau di pesawat usahakan, kalau saya prinsipnya adalah banyak sekali tidur. Jadi saya sampai bilang ke pramugarinya juga, tolong tidak dibangunkan walaupun untuk makan, karena saya butuh waktu untuk tidur. Jadi sebaiknya itu diinformasikan juga di awal dengan pramugari yang akan membantu teman-teman di pesawat. Gitu. Bukan berarti tidur sepanjang 18 jam, tetap harus bangun juga, tapi paling enggak usahakan banyak sekali tidur dan banyak minum air putih. Gitu. Dan itu sangat membantu nanti saat teman-teman pada saat landing sampai di Amerika. Berikutnya pada saat sudah sampai di Amerika, itu adjusting waktu setempat, itu juga menjadi kita harus punya strategi. Akhirnya kita harus ngikutin norma yang ada dan waktu yang berlaku di sana gitu. Jadi yang saya lakukan waktu saya sampai di Amerika, saya masuk, waktu itu kebetulan saya sudah dapat housing di sana, jadi langsung masuk ke housingnya. Tapi saya kaget pas masuk housing karena tidak ada furniture sama sekali. Saya tidur di mana, saya belajar di mana, saya nggak tahu gitu. Tapi yang pasti ikutin ritme yang ada. Kalau memang teman-teman ngerasa ngantuk karena memang waktu biologisnya adalah tidur di Indonesia, usahakan tidak tidur. Jadi kalau memang ada bacaan buku, bisa baca buku atau jalan-jalan di sekitar apartemen. Jadi jalannya nggak usah jauh dulu, nggak usah ke grocery store atau ke departemen store untuk cari barang, tapi paling nggak jalan di sekitar apartemen. Hanya untuk melihat bagaimana juga lingkungan sekitar gitu. Jadi itu juga penting. Jadi usahakan untuk terus ikuti dengan norma waktu yang ada di sana, dengan norma waktu yang baru. Nah, tadi saya bicara tentang housing. Jadi housing ini juga sebenarnya adalah preference dari teman-teman nanti yang saat ada di sana. Tapi saran saya sebaiknya ini juga dipersiapkan sejak awal sebelum teman-teman berangkat. Kalau itu preference saya gitu. Karena pada saat sampai saya sudah tahu saya mau kemana gitu. Tapi ada juga beberapa teman saya juga memilih ya sudah sampai di Amerika dulu, tinggal di hotel sama kurang lebih seminggu. Pas di hotel itu mereka baru cari tempat untuk tempat tinggal. Tapi kalau saya memilih, saya mencari dulu sebelum saya berangkat. Karena saya merasa lebih aman pada saat sampai saya udah tahu rumah yang akan saya tuju itu di mana. Gitu. Jadi, nah ada beberapa tipe dan price tentunya. Nah teman-teman juga bisa lihat ada di website informasinya banyak gitu ya. Preference teman-teman seperti apa, itu juga nanti kita bisa tahu apakah termasuk facilities-nya apa. Nah ini waktu saya bilang pas saya sampai ke housing, saya kaget karena tidak ada furniture sama sekali. Untungnya waktu itu saya bawa sleeping bag. Jadi seminggu saya tidur di sleeping bag. Gitu. Jadi itu juga salah satu persiapan. Jadi bawa sleeping bag. Untungnya lantainya juga karpet yang cukup tebal. Jadi tidak terlalu dingin dan sleeping bag cukup membantu. Yang perlu dipikirkan juga adalah jarak antara kampus dengan tempat tinggal teman-teman. Ini nanti terserah pilihannya mau on kampus atau di luar kampus. Ini penting karena kita juga bisa lihat apakah itu walking distance bisa dilalui dengannya atau harus menggunakan public transportation. Terus juga kita mesti consider kita nanti pada saat sampai kita lebih prefer tinggal sendiri atau punya roommates. Jadi ini juga ada hal, sebenarnya ada benefit dan ada juga kekurangannya kalau punya roommate. Beruntung kalau teman-teman berangkat tidak sendirian, misalnya ada teman juga dari Indonesia yang berangkat bareng, enak gitu. Atau di sana sudah ada teman-teman Indonesia, kita bisa banyak menggali informasi dari mereka dan bisa dapat roommate. Tapi kalau belum, biasanya agak susah. Nah karena waktu saya di sana saya sendirian, jadi saya memilih untuk tidak punya roommate terlebih dahulu gitu. Karena saya memikirkan kalau misalnya ternyata roommate saya misalnya entah dari negara mana, itu juga butuh adjusting lagi. Jadi saya memilih oke, kalau gitu saya tinggal sementara sendiri dulu. Hal yang juga perlu difikirkan adalah masalah sekuritas dan juga privacy. Ini juga nanti terkait dengan apakah memiliki roommate atau tidak gitu. Nah di Amerika sendiri security itu sangat penting pada saat memilih housing. Jadi yang pertama saya lakukan adalah setelah melihat housing itu di mana, saya pindah ke website. Saya lupa sekarang nama websitenya apa, tapi ada website yang mereka untuk menunjukkan di mana peta kriminalitas. Kebetulan saya ditempatkan waktu itu di St. Louis University, itu salah satu state yang juga dibilang agak dengan tingkat kriminalitas yang tinggi. Jadi makanya saya juga cari di web tersebut bahwa apakah lingkungan yang saya tinggali ini aman gitu dan bisa menjamin keamanan pada saat saya tinggal di sana. Itu juga bisa nanti tadi saya lupa nama website, nanti kalau saya ingat saya akan share ke teman-teman juga gitu. Jadi ada mappingnya dan mereka sudah dijelaskan gitu tipe kejahatan yang sering terjadi di daerah ini apa saja. Itu juga bisa menjadi background untuk pemilihan. Lalu kita juga harus consider tentang kontrak, apakah mau bulanan atau tahunan. Ada beberapa keuntungan dan kerugian juga. Kalau tahunan enaknya biasanya biayanya lebih murah dan deposit uangnya juga lebih sedikit dibandingkan yang bulanan. Yang bulanan biasanya tenants akan meminta uang deposit yang jauh lebih besar gitu karena waktu mereka untuk stay sangat sedikit. Dan juga kita lihat juga nih lingkungan sekitarnya seperti apa. Itu salah satu yang penting harus di-consider juga. Nah, ini beberapa resources yang bisa teman-teman cari. Jadi pertama adalah cari di kampusnya dulu. Kita hubungin dengan apa yang ada di kampus, International Student Adviser. Biasanya mereka sudah punya list tuh, housing, potential housing yang bisa jadi tempat tinggal teman-teman. Baik yang in kampus, baik yang mau on kampus maupun juga di off kampus. Jadi mereka biasanya sudah punya daftarnya. Jadi teman-teman bisa mereverse ke daftar tersebut. Terus juga kita bisa tanya tadi dengan teman-teman permias juga yang sudah berada di Amerika dan punya pengalaman lebih. Jadi kita bisa diskusi dengan mereka kira-kira akan tempatnya di mana. Dan informasi tentang housing ini juga kita bisa dapat di kampus bulletin board. Jadi kalau teman-teman ke kampus biasanya mereka punya board besar dan itu juga akan ada informasi tentang di mana lokasi housing yang bisa teman-teman tinggali. Dan bisa, ini juga Craigslist sudah sangat terkenal, Airbnb juga sudah sangat familiar mungkin dipakai oleh teman-teman, jadi bisa dicari juga. Cuma memang kalau pengalaman saya untuk Craigslist harus agak lebih sedikit berhati-hati, karena posting di Craigslist itu banyak sekali gitu, jadi harus di double check juga kalau memang teman-teman sudah double check, nanti tanya juga ke teman-teman permias kira-kira area ini seperti apa gitu. Jadi juga bisa mendapat gambaran lebih dari teman-teman yang sudah ada di sana. Nah ini nanti saya tidak akan membicarakan detailnya seperti apa, nanti teman-teman bisa baca. Jadi ini kembali adalah preference teman-teman, mau di on campus atau off campus. Waktu saya di US, saya memilih waktu itu adalah off campus. Karena memang pertama pertimbangannya di on campus harganya mahal sekali. Jadi setelah dihitung harganya sangat mahal, jadi saya memilih untuk pergi, tapi walking distance dari sekolah saya gitu. Jadi saya memilih di off campus karena tadi saya juga memilih lebih privacy, punya ruangan yang lebih besar walaupun tanpa furniture. Jadi lebih besar dan saya bisa lebih karena saya suka masak, jadi saya butuh dapur yang bisa saya pakai untuk memasak gitu. Jadi saya memilih di off campus gitu. Dan biasanya kalau di on campus itu kalau pas liburan panjang kayak summer biasanya memang teman-teman harus keluar. Jadi itu juga yang buat saya agak repot kalau saya harus keluar dari housing untuk sementara waktu. Sementara kalau di off campus biasanya kita bisa negotiate. Saya akan tetap stay di sana ya tetap bayar sewa gitu. Dan biasanya kalau yang off campus teman-teman saya juga biasanya sublease. Jadi pada saat misalnya teman-teman harus pergi, kontraknya disublease ke orang lain yang kira-kira akan tinggal di sana gitu. Jadi selalu ada peluang seperti itu. Nah, hal apa sih yang pertama kali harus dilakukan setelah sampai di Amerika, terus juga mendapatkan informasi tentang housing? Berikutnya teman-teman memang harus mau nggak mau harus buka US bank account. Itu udah pasti wajib. Jadi teman-teman bisa ke kampus dan juga biasanya kampus sudah punya koneksi dengan bank-bank tertentu gitu. Jadi sementara kalau di St. Louis saya waktu itu ada US Bank dan Bank of America. Jadi biasanya reverse-nya ke suggestion yang diberikan oleh kampus gitu. Jadi untuk membuka tidak menggunakan uang yang besar. Jadi teman-teman bisa ke bank termasuk. Jangan lupa tadi Mbak Vina juga bilang paspor dan I-20 itu gak boleh dipisahkan. Karena kalau udah pisah itu repot banget gitu, banyak sekali pertanyaan. Jadi tinggal bawa open uang untuk membuka buku tabungan, student ID. Nah nanti student ID saya akan ceritakan gimana teman-teman bisa dapat student ID dan juga address. Kenapa housing itu menjadi penting? Karena pada saat teman-teman ke bank biasanya akan ditanya tinggalnya di mana, itu biasanya udah wajib diketahui. Nah ada dua jenis saving yang bisa teman-teman buka untuk bank account, ada student checking dan juga ada saving. Tapi biasanya untuk pelajar yang digugakan adalah student checking account. Karena ini biasanya mudah dipakai untuk aktivitas sehari-hari seperti belanja, naik bis dan segala macam itu bisa teman-teman pakai. Gitu. Jadi tapi biasanya satu account itu bisa untuk dua, jadi checking dan saving. Jadi nggak harus buka dua jenis tabungan tertentu. Nah setelah teman-teman udah dapat rumah, buka tabungan dan yang penting juga adalah kita karena untuk sarana komunikasi maka kita perlu juga register untuk mendapatkan nomor telepon di Amerika. Ini mungkin terinspirasi dari Dilan. Jadi gambarnya masih telepon umum gitu, jadi tahun 80-an. Jadi nah teman-teman bisa pergi banyak provider di Amerika. Jadi yang besar ada T-Mobile, ada AT&T, ada Virgin. Waktu di sana saya menggunakan T-Mobile dan saya memilih yang prepaid. Kenapa prepaid? Karena biasanya lebih mudah dikontrol dalam penggunaannya dibandingkan dengan postpaid gitu. Tapi kembali itu adalah preference teman-teman seperti apa. Karena kalau untuk data sebenarnya nggak perlu khawatir, hampir seluruh wilayah di US sebenarnya kalau untuk kampus, apalagi dekat kampus itu sudah connecting to wifi gitu. Dan tempat tinggal teman-teman juga otomatis sudah ada wifi-nya. Jadi kebutuhan telepon biasanya adalah untuk hal-hal yang emergency juga gitu. Untuk kontak ke advisor, telepon ke student center seperti itu, atau juga telepon ke teman-teman yang lain gitu. Jadi ini juga perlu disiapkan oleh teman-teman, dan tidak perlu membawa handphone, tidak perlu membeli handphone di sana. Sebenarnya handphone di Indonesia sudah bisa dipakai, jadi tidak perlu harus beli handphone baru di sana gitu. Jadi tetap telepon kita bisa dipakai di sana. Nah, ini juga adalah salah satu yang harus teman-teman siapkan, karena nggak mungkin teman-teman pergi kemana-mana bawa paspor gitu. Kadang-kadang ada beberapa orang yang agak repot kalau kemana-mana membawa paspor, dan juga alasan keamanan. Jadi sebaiknya teman-teman juga apply buat mendapatkan kartu identitas di States gitu. Jadi teman-teman bisa pergi ke kantor DMV namanya, teman-teman bawa, ada form yang harus diisi. Ini prosesnya sangat cepat. 1 hari juga bisa selesai gitu. Jadi teman-teman bawa informasi, mengisi form yang diberikan oleh mereka, teman-teman memberikan informasinya, dan teman-teman bisa apply buat State ID. Nah, State ID ini sebenarnya dengan SIM 1. Jadi tidak, kalau di Indonesia kan KTP dengan SIM berbeda. Ada 2 jenis kartu yang berbeda. Kalau di State kartunya sama. Tapi teman-teman bisa memilih apakah identitas itu juga sekalian driving license atau hanya State ID. Pada saat saya hanya memilih State ID, karena memang saat saya waktu jadi scholar di prestasi ada salah satu klausulnya adalah memang disencourage untuk mengendarai kendaraan, karena kebetulan memang ke kampus saya dekat dengan rumah, jadi tidak perlu menggunakan kendaraan gitu. Jadi, dan saya juga memilih tidak berkendara waktu di sana karena kan agak berbeda setirnya kanan dengan kiri gitu. Jadi itu juga harus difikirkan. Jadi ini kembali preferensi teman-teman, mau yang sekalian driving license atau yang hanya juga State ID. Dan ini gampang, jadi kalau teman-teman harus misalnya tadi traveling ke ada conference, traveling kemana, teman-teman tinggal menunjukkan State ID-nya instead of nunjukin seluruh dokumen paspor dan segala macam. Lalu ini juga tadi terkait dengan public transportation. Jadi sebelum berangkat ada baiknya juga tadi seperti Mbak Vina bilang, kita lihat fasilitas transportasi umum yang ada di state itu, yang tempat kita nanti sekolah itu ada apa aja gitu. Jadi dulu bayangan saya pada saat saya datang ke Amerika, saya pikir public transportation-nya akan sophisticated, jauh lebih baik daripada di Indonesia. Tapi ternyata saya salah. Jadi tapi mungkin beda kalau itu di New York, di Chicago, mereka memang sudah sangat baik transportasi. Tapi karena saya waktu itu di St. Louis, jadi St. Louis itu juga sebenarnya kota besar, tapi ternyata untuk public transportation tidak terlalu baik gitu. Jadi alhamdulillahnya karena saya dekat dengan kampus dan ada di main road, itu saya cuma butuh 10 menit untuk naik bis gitu, dan jalan dari rumah saya ke halte itu sekitar 3 menit. Waktu tunggunya hanya sekitar 1 menit. Jadi alhamdulillah saya lebih gampang saat itu. Tapi ada teman saya di St. Louis University juga, dia harus tinggal di suburban. Itu waktu transportasi, waktu tunggunya itu sekitar 1,5 jam sampai 2 jam. Jadi bisa dibayangkan kalau lagi pas winter, udah jalan ke depan, ke halte, terus kelewat aja bisnya, ya harus nunggu 2 jam lagi gitu. Jadi itu juga ya, makanya tadi sebaiknya dipelajari waktunya, rutenya, jam kapan dia datang. Insya Allah sih waktunya sudah tidak telat lah gitu. Jadi sudah ada waktu-waktu pasti. Jadi nggak akan ada ketelatan waktu untuk datang, kecuali kalau memang ada masalah di kendaraan atau ada masalah kecelakaan. Tapi mostly tepat waktu semuanya. Hal yang menarik kalau kita menggunakan public transportation ini juga sebenarnya adalah kalau buat saya ini adalah sarana belajar. Gitu. Jadi pada saat kita duduk di bis, kita bisa mendengarkan bagaimana orang-orang berkomunikasi, topik apa yang sedang mereka bicarakan. Itu adalah hal yang menarik yang buat saya bisa kita pelajari juga. Dan kita juga bisa belajar budaya gitu. Bagaimana sih mereka misalnya menyapa anak kecil, menyapa yang lebih muda gitu, dan bagaimana ngelihat menarik bagaimana mereka saling berkomunikasi. Dan biasanya suka banyak informasi juga yang bisa kita dapat di dalam bus gitu. Jadi di St. Louis juga menariknya, di dalam bus itu ternyata ada asongan. Ya, jadi itu juga hal yang saya kaget gitu. Jadi pada saat saya naik bis, saya lihat ada orang bawa dan memang jualan di dalam bis gitu. Dan saya pikir ini Amerika kan ya gitu. Tapi ternyata ya mereka menjual dari hal-hal mulai dari sarung tangan, pokoknya hal-hal kecil sampai rokok pun mereka jual gitu. Jadi itu membuka mata saya lagi sih gitu, bahwa Amerika tidak semuanya seperti Hollywood, karena biasanya yang kita dapat di Indonesia kan gambarannya adalah Hollywood, New York, Chicago gitu ya, Los Angeles, tapi ternyata tidak semua state seperti itu gitu. Jadi itu juga yang juga harus teman-teman consider. Ada teman saya dia sekolahnya di California saat itu, tapi California bukan di kotanya, jadi harus suburban, dan dia hanya bisa ke grocery itu seminggu 1 kali. Jadi gitu. Padahal saya pikir kamu kan di California, ya tapi jangan lihat Californianya gitu, tapi di mana dia sekolahnya. Jadi ternyata untuk ke grocery aja dia hanya bisa seminggu sekali gitu. Jadi itu makanya informasi awal sangat perlu digali sejak awal sebelum berangkat. Nah ini tadi terkait dengan grocery shopping gitu. Saya juga alhamdulillah beruntung berada di daerah imigran. Jadi tempat tinggal saya berada dari daerah imigran, di mana ada banyak sekali imigran dari Timur Tengah, dari negara Saudi Arabia, dan juga bahkan dari kayak Thailand, Myanmar, banyak yang tinggal di sana. Jadi ternyata pada saat grocery shop untuk menemukan grocery ini tidak sulit sama sekali gitu. Ada banyak Asian store, Asian market yang bisa kita dapatkan, dan ternyata barang-bahan Indonesia itu ada semua di sana gitu, termasuk tadi Indomie. Jadi karena Indomie sudah ada di mana-mana, jadi ternyata tidak sesulit yang dibayangkan, tapi tadi harus dicari informasinya lebih awal. Kebetulan di tempat saya waktu itu memang sangat mudah, karena tadi saya berada di daerah imigran gitu. Makanan-makanan dari berbagai negara ada di sana dengan harga yang juga relatif sebenarnya tidak terlalu mahal gitu. Jadi itu juga. Tapi teman-teman bisa lihat dari beberapa website ini untuk melihat kira-kira apa tadi, kalau memang suka yang online ya nggak apa-apa juga, nggak harus pergi gitu. Jadi barangnya nyampe ke rumah, bisa kita belanja dengan online gitu. Terus untuk melihat juga kira-kira restoran yang dekat, di mana dari lokasi kita bisa menggunakan website yelp.com, dan juga tadi kalau misalnya kita pengen tahu halal restoran, itu juga kita bisa ke zabina.com gitu. Nah kebetulan tadi saya bilang karena di tempat saya banyak sekali imigran dari daerah Timur Tengah, jadi makanan halal itu tidak menjadi masalah gitu. Jadi memang biasanya kalau kita beli daging di grocery store yang kayak di Target dan segala macam, biasanya jauh lebih murah. Tapi kalau misalnya mencari daging yang halal, memang harganya agak sedikit lebih mahal. Tapi ya itu tadi, bahwa kita bisa tahu bahwa ya kalau memang teman-teman Muslim kan paling nggak harus memilih meat yang ada kategori halalnya gitu. Jadi nggak jadi masalah juga gitu. Jadi itu bisa dicari juga. Oke. Nah setelah selesai tadi saya ada bicara student ID, ini juga hal yang penting harus teman-teman lakukan. Jadi pada saat sudah sampai udah dapat housing, udah lebih settle. Jadi kalau saran saya tidak langsung besoknya ke student ID center untuk mendapatkan student ID. Paling nggak tunggu 1 hari sampai teman-teman comfort dulu, nyaman dulu di rumah, di tempat teman-teman tinggal, baru besoknya atau 2 harinya teman-teman bisa berangkat ke student center untuk mendapatkan student ID. Ini juga prosesnya gampang sekali, datang tinggal nunjukkan nomor registrasi kita seperti apa, mereka sudah punya datanya, taking picture, dan teman-teman udah langsung dapat student ID. Nah kalau di kampus tadi student ID ini juga bisa dipakai untuk keperluan ke perpustakaan. Jadi jangan sampai hilang. Dan yang berikutnya juga bisa dipakai untuk meal plan. Jadi biasanya kampus punya program makan buat mahasiswa. Nah kalau teman-teman merasa di awal-awal itu masak itu sulit, jadi teman-teman bisa menggunakan meal plan ini gitu. Jadi teman-teman cuma tadi sulitnya tidak bisa memilih makanan yang teman-teman suka gitu. Jadi ya sesuai dengan menu yang mereka sudah siapkan gitu. Jadi kekurangannya di situ. Nah ini juga penting, nanti teman-teman kami sarankan untuk ke international office, karena nanti biasanya akan di-assign satu advisor untuk assign ke beberapa orang gitu. Jadi teman-teman ketemu dengan international advisor-nya, ini sangat membantu apalagi buat teman-teman adjusting di 3-6 bulan pertama gitu. Mereka akan kasih banyak support, juga fasilitas untuk kasih tahu apa yang kira-kira bisa teman-teman dapatkan. Dan juga yang berikutnya yang penting juga ketemu dengan academic advisor tentunya. Nah teman-teman kan sudah mulai berkomunikasi dari sejak Indonesia, jadi ke sana ketemu dengan advisor, ini juga untuk merencanakan kira-kira planning teman-teman tadi selama 1 tahun atau 2 tahun kuliah itu akan apa saja, mata kuliah yang akan diambil apa saja, untuk memastikan bahwa ini sesuai dengan tujuan teman-teman sekolah di Amerika nanti gitu. Jadi Academic Advisor akan memberikan saran kira-kira apakah topik ini sesuai dengan major yang akan teman-teman pelajari di sana. Tadi yang saya lupa untuk internal advisor ini sangat penting karena 3 sampai 6 bulan pertama tadi itu adalah masa yang sangat sulit gitu. Jadi biasanya 3 bulan pertama udah mulai ngerasain kayaknya pengen pulang gitu karena tidak nyaman, tidak punya teman untuk berkomunikasi gitu dan kalaupun misalnya teman-teman berkomunikasi dengan orang tua misalnya atau pasangan di Jakarta itu juga kan waktunya beda 12 jam. Itu juga ada salah satu kendala sendiri gitu. Tapi nah teman-teman teman-teman di International Advisor, teman-teman juga Academic Advisor bisa akan memberikan banyak support supaya teman-teman bisa adjusting dalam 6 bulan pertama. Ini juga yang harus diikuti oleh teman-teman, sebaiknya ini juga disarankan untuk ikut campus orientation. Pada saat saya dulu, karena saya datang terlambat, jadi campus orientationnya sudah dilakukan seminggu sebelum saya datang, jadi agak kesulitan gitu. Kalau misalnya ternyata kita akan ada acara apa di mana, saya tidak tahu lokasi itu di mana. Jadi sebaiknya teman-teman punya waktu sebelum memulai kuliah untuk ikutan kampus, untuk tahu. Misalnya perpustakaannya di mana, tempat shuttle-nya di mana, itu harus teman-teman pelajari gitu. Jadi supaya nggak bingung lagi pada saat perkuliahan sudah dimulai. Dan juga ini yang penting juga untuk untuk registrasi ke mata kuliah yang akan teman-teman ambil. Nah ini akan dilakukan biasanya di setiap awal semester dan jangan sampai lewat tenggat waktunya. Karena kalau sudah lewat tenggat waktunya agak complicated. Dan juga biasanya akan kena denda gitu. Dan khawatirnya juga pada saat teman-teman register kelasnya udah penuh. Kalau kelasnya udah penuh juga nggak akan bisa masuk ke kelas yang teman-teman mau gitu. Jadi kalau bisa ahead of time, teman-teman udah lihat, sudah direncanakan dengan academic advisornya mau ngambil mata kuliah apa, dan sesegera mungkin didaftarkan secara online gitu. Jadi supaya teman-teman dapat seat untuk masuk ke dalam kelas tersebut gitu. Nah, terus bagaimana dengan textbook gitu. Jadi sebenarnya tidak perlu khawatir dengan textbook gitu karena textbook itu hampir semuanya tersedia di perpustakaan. Ini juga harus punya strategi gitu. Dari awal teman-teman sudah request ke perpustakaan buku-buku apa yang akan teman-teman pergunakan selama mata kuliah 1 semester dan ini juga kalau bisa dilakukan sejak awal gitu karena biasanya juga bukunya tidak banyak gitu. Maksudnya ada tapi tidak tidak bisa mengcover semuanya. Jadi kalau bisa dilakukan jauh-jauh hari juga. Atau teman-teman bisa juga beli buku gitu. Beli buku biasanya second dari kakak kelas ataupun juga di student center biasanya juga mereka akan memberikan buku-buku yang sudah bekas yang bisa teman-teman beli gitu. Di Amazon juga bisa teman-teman beli secara bekas dan itu bisa dijual kembali untuk semester berikutnya untuk dipakai dengan teman-teman yang baru gitu. Jadi tidak harus membeli buku baru gitu. Jadi bisa menggunakan resources yang sudah ada di sana. Itu mungkin dari saya. Nanti selanjutnya akan dilanjutkan oleh Mbak Triwik. Saya
Terima kasih
kembalikan
Mas
dulu
Akim.
ke
Iya,
Mbak Vina. Thank you.
Boleh nanti aku panggil lagi ke panggung. Terima kasih. So after that, it's getting more fun as I promised you. Talking about academic expectation, campus life. We're getting there, right? So let's welcome Mbak Triwik Kurniasari, also a Fulbright alumni from Ohio University. Please give a round of applause from Mbak Triwik.
Hi everyone, how are you today? Great, so excited to be here. Oh, many people. Okay, thank you for coming. My name is Triwik. So it's like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 minggu. It's been great to be here and congratulations to all of you already accepted in universities in the US. Yay! You were in my shoes 4 years ago when I was about to go to the US, so it was pretty excited. So yeah, congratulations. So I get to the fun part, academic expectation. So this is the reason why you're going to go to the States, right? Okay, let's get started. Okay, so a lot of friends, they ask me like, okay, Triwik, what should I do on the first week on campus? Is it like something in Hollywood movies or something? So yeah, they're pretty nervous about their first week in the States, in the university. So okay, one thing for sure that like the previous slide explained, so there will be like student orientation. So my suggestion is just go to the student orientation. It's a must. You have to attend it. It's good for you to get to know your campus, to get to know your cohorts, your classmates, and then to get to know everybody around in the town probably. So my suggestion is just go. Maybe you feel tired after a long flight, but no, it's not an excuse. My suggestion, just go. And then after there's a student orientation, there's usually a department or program orientation organized by your department and program. So for example, I studied in Ohio University, Communication and Development Studies. So my department is International Relations. So there was orientation organized by my department. And then after that, there is a program orientation organized by my program. So of course, you have to attend like all of them. For instance, in program and department orientation, so you get to know your professors, you get to know your classmates, so you get to know, and the professor will explain to you from A to Z about your program, about the classes that you should take, about the grading system, about the academic expectation, things like that. So it's pretty important to attend that. And of course, you get to know with your classmates too from around the world, not only for Indonesia. So that's the fun part, right? And of course, I suggest you to involve in any kinds of activities on campus during the first week. It's very important. Go attend the campus tour, and then usually, like in my campus in Ohio University, they used to have like tons of activities for international students, for new students. For instance, hiking, and then treasure hunt, things like that. So also picnics. So just go. It's time for you to get to know your campus and then everybody on campus. So how's the learning style of this professor in the US? So it's a little bit different from here in Indonesia. Okay, so when you get to the class for the first time, so I've got lots of questions about this. I mean, like, what should we wear? And then what should we call our professor or our lecturer? And then about the clothing, that's really good about studying in the US. So you can, of course, on summer, you can wear shorts, you can wear flip-flops and things like that. So basically, well, yeah, it's a little bit like in Hollywood movies. So you can wear something that you like, but of course, whatever you wear, I mean, like, just make sure that you dress appropriately. So in terms of calling your lecturer or your professor, so usually in the States, they like to be called with their first name. But it depends on the professor or the lecturer. So on the first class, I mean, like on the first day, they usually, okay, my name is Triwik. You can call me Triwik. So yeah, you don't have to call me like professor or anything. But of course, it depends on the professor or the lecturer. So you can also ask. I'm like, oh, what do you want us to call you? Something like that. So yeah, it's in class. It's pretty. It's a little bit different. So you can be active in class, and then it's participation and things like that is very important. And then the professor will tell you. So basically, on the first day of class, the professor will give you something called syllabus. So basically, so what is a syllabus? So basically, it's like you know, some pieces of paper, and then it contains information about the class, and then for instance, for the whole semesters, like the readings, and then the grading systems, and then the expectations of the professors, of course, and then the assignments, and then also the office hour. That's also the important thing, office hour. So basically, the syllabus is your guidance. So you keep it. After you get it from your professor, so don't throw it away, please. So you keep it all the time. So you stick to the syllabus, because this is basically what you need to hang on. I mean, because the professor is not going to tell you all the time, oh, tomorrow we're going to do this, and then the day after we're going to do this. No, basically, here, I mean, for instance, you, in the States, you should be independent. So nobody will tell you what to do. So basically, to stick to the syllabus, and then, yeah, basically everything is on the syllabus. If you have some questions, just ask. Okay, seperti Indonesian phrase, there is like, what is it, maldo bertanya sesat di jalan? Yes, you will be sesat if you don't ask, really. And then, yeah, the grading system. So usually in the first day of class, the professor will tell you what he or she expects you to achieve. So it's kind of good to always set standard for yourself. Like I myself, I set standard to have an A for every class, there's no exceptions. Probably it sounds a little bit like, I don't know, ambitious or something like that, but I think it's important to set standard for yourself, especially if you study in the States through scholarships. So usually the sponsor, they also set some standards that you have to achieve, like for instance, minimum B+ or things like that. So yeah, it's always good to set standard for yourself. So it depends on your standard. And also, yeah, if you don't understand on things, for instance, on the syllabus, okay, or maybe assignments, always ask to your professor. So the really cool about studying in the States is that the office hour, you can just go and see the professor during office hour, no appointments needed. And yeah, you just ask anything, your concerns, your issues, things like that. And the coolest thing is sometimes you can always discuss anything with your professors. I mean, for instance, I myself sometimes discuss about other things. Like for instance, I was involved in organizations in the state, in my university. And then in my organization, I was assigned to do the social media thing, something like that. And then I was about to achieve like, involvement in the social media. And then I asked my social media professor, and then I had like some brainstormings and things like that. So basically, professor is not just a lecturer, not just somebody who teach you lesson in class. So the coolest thing is you can always like have discussion with your professor about anything. And if you're interested in doing some research with your professor, that is really, really possible to do so. So basically, just take advantage of this, take advantage of the office hour, and if you want to discuss anything about your professor, so feel free to do so. That's so pretty cool about it. And then, this is the most important thing. Okay, nggak boleh nyontek ya. So yeah, basically what it says, no plagiarism. At the beginning, your professor will tell you this strictly. They're really, really serious about it. So don't even try to do this. Kerja kelompok boleh, it's okay. Teamwork is fine. Is encouraged. It's fine. So as long as you don't do this, like yeah, you have, of course, especially if you get this, if you study in the States through scholarship, so you're qualified, you're more than qualified, so you have to believe in yourself. So yeah, especially please don't do this. In exam, you've got, and also if you got this through scholarship, you have many times in the word, I mean like, you have the advantage than any other students. I mean, other students, sometimes they have to work part-time because they need to, you know, they need to cover from their tuition fees and their stipend and things like that. Your tuition fees are already covered, your stipends are already covered, so you have all the time in the world to study. So, jangan nyontek ya. And also, I would like to remind one more thing that is very important. No procrastination, please. Stop procrastinating. Jangan menunda-nunda ya. So this is like almost every student's habit. So basically you've got the assignment, the deadline is next week. Oh, it's still next week. I still have time to watch Game of Thrones and things like that. Okay, all right, you can watch Game of Thrones, go ahead, that's fine. But I think I suggest you to set standard for yourself. Like for instance, I usually I set standard for myself. Like for instance, oh, I have to submit all the assignment 2 days before the deadline. So that's a standard for myself. So it's kind of good for you like to set standard also, not to procrastinate. Please submit everything or the assignments on time. It's really important. I mean, the professor gives you some time, so yeah, please be on time in submitting things. If you feel like, oh, it's kind of difficult for me to do this assignment, I don't know what to do, and again, you can always ask, and again, you can always do kerja kelompok or something. You can ask your cohort. So yeah, I mean, there's no reason for you to submit things late, something like that. So please do that, be on time, and also it applies also, you need to be on time in class too. So yeah, so basically I often heard this from my cohorts that sometimes 1 or 2 of them, they kind of like submitted the assignments late or something like that. There will be consequences about that, and yeah, don't try to mess with that, no. Okay, so yeah, like I mentioned earlier, so yeah, sometimes the professor or lecturer, they just, okay, just call me my first name and something like that. It's very informal, things like that. So that's what is cool about it. And then again, use office hour, and then and then one more thing. Usually at the beginning of the class, some professors, they like to organize like a welcome party for the new students, like what my professor did. So he invited us, the new students, and also the students from the previous batch to come to his house for a little party. It's not like a party, something like that. It's just like it's time for you to get to know your cohort, your classmates, your professors. So to mingle, of course, to build networking. So basically, yeah, just don't stay in your room, and then yeah, maybe you have enough time, I'm like to get in your room, but just go out, mingle, build network, just talk to people. I suggest you to do that. And then again, probably your professor is fine. I mean, like, oh yeah, you can call me with my first name and things like that. But no matter what, just he or she is your professor, so just be respectful. And also, there's one more thing. In terms of communication with your professor or lecturer, everything is done through email. So here maybe it's kind of, like WhatsApp or text or anything. So it's very common here, but not there. So everything is done through email. So you can ask, I mean, her or his cell phone number, but usually they don't really, give you the phone number, because it's phone number, it's like very private thing there. So email is the best way of communication. So for instance, if you cannot attend class because you're sick or something, just tell your professor through email. So usually they will reply the email quickly. So everything should be done through email. If you want to text him or her, just again, ask her or ask him, is it okay if I text you, something like that. So it's a little bit different in terms of cultural thing. All right, so yeah, this is the coolest thing too about studying in the States. So basically, if you want to, I have this idea to do research on things like that, so you can always approach your professor to do this. You can work together. It's very common there. So basically, you can work together, and maybe you can have a paper together and then present it together in a conference. So it's very common there. So you can always approach your professor if you have any idea about anything, about research, about projects. So yeah, so don't be shy. So yeah, and also maybe one of the the challenge, I think, the challenges that faced by international students, I think also for me, is the reading part. Oh my God, it's like, I mean, I already get used to reading like English books and texts and everything, but when I got there, oh my God. I mean, probably because there's a long gap between my undergrad and graduate student at the time. So it was kind of difficult for me to read like the textbook. So I'm in communication and development studies. I remember that for that particular class about development theory or something like that, everything is about theory, development theory this, development theory that. I was like, oh my God, what is this? And it took me a while to really get into this reading habit. And finally, I managed to do so. Like for instance, at the beginning, I used my computer or my iPad to read the text and everything, the textbooks. But it seems like it didn't really work for me because I'm more like a conventional person. So I decided to print them out. And then, yeah, I feel like I need to have something in my hand. I need to touch something in my hand. So, and I need to write something on it. So, yeah, and then I decided to print them out. And then it worked well. And one of my best friends, he suggested me like, oh, Triwik, you don't really read all of this. Just, you need some time, you have to be concentrated in anything if you're about to read something. And then you don't have to like to read all words by words. And then you have to know the concept of the readings. That's what he said. And it kind of works for me. And then also another challenge is writing. So it's different. Like writing, for instance, like a short story or something, or featureized stories, then the academic writing is pretty different. And I wasn't really got used to that. I mean, it was kind of a challenge for me too. And I suggest you to use this really cool service at the university. I believe in your university, there is this service. It's called the Writing Center. So it's pretty cool. So I suggest you, before you submit your assignment to your professor, have your assignments checked at writing centers. The grammar, the organizations, and everything. So your professor wants your assignments to be, grammarless error or something like that. So usually the writing center is in the library. High University, we have 2 writing centers for. One is for undergrad and graduate, and then the other one is only for postgraduate, for graduate and postgraduate. So yeah, usually take some time. So this is why jangan menunda-nunda, yeah. This is the important thing about jangan menunda-nunda, because you need to have some time to get your work, to get your assignments to the writing center, to have it checked first before you submit it, and then you need to, maybe a little bit of revise it or things like that. So. Yeah, you need some time to do so. So I suggest you to take some time to go to writing center to have it checked. Yeah, so make use of it. And usually before the finals or exams periods, it gets booked really fast and easily. So you need to really, really check. Just go to your library's website and then sign up as soon as possible, because it gets booked really fast, especially during the exams times. All right, so how about my classmates there, my students there? So you will be expecting like a very diverse environment. So not only American students, but also international students. So I suggest you to also to blend in, to mingle with American students, not only Indonesians, please. It's important because it's for you to get to know the culture, American culture. Like for instance, I myself, I used to take a couple of classes with undergrad, and there are many Americans in undergrad classes, and I learned a lot from them. I'm like, my classmate, they asked me, why you took classes with undergrads? I mean, like, oh, don't underestimate undergrads. I mean, like, they are way, 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 I don't know, smarter, and then they have this fresh ideas, and then, yeah, I mean, just mingle, just try. I mean, just try to blend in. And yeah, and of course, I suggest you also to participate in student activities. I mean, studying is important, of course, but you need to balance. You need some balance in your life. So if there are any student organizations, just come, have a look, and then usually they have many events going on. So I lived in a small town called Athens. There are only 30,000 people there. So at the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, 30,000 people, small town, what am I going to do? And I myself, I'm a city girl. So I was like, oh, there's something going on here. I'm like, is there anything here? But turns out that I was wrong, and that there are tons of events. I mean, tons of volunteering opportunities and things like that. So yeah, I started to attend this many cultural things, and like from the Japanese Student Association, from the Arabic Student Associations, and then I got involved in this International Student Association too. So basically, yeah, I mean, after studying, so you need to refresh your mind and then just go out, and then if you like traveling, just go traveling. It's also good too, to balance your life. And so basically, yeah, don't isolate yourself. I suggest you to do this and try new things. And also, I would like to share a little bit about myself. So before studying in the States, I worked in journalism. So I love writing so much. So writing is my passion. But then when I came to the States, and then I started to involve in this student organization, so I found my new passion, which is now currently my new career. So I began to involve in, like for instance, in event organizing, in campaign development, and things like that. And I never thought that I was going to be interested in something like that. But after I joined this string of student organizations, then I felt very fortunate because it leads me to many, many opportunities. Like I got my internship through my my participation in the student organization and things like that. And also, it's kind of like switch my gear to something new. Like for instance, I didn't know exactly what I'm going to do with my degree at the beginning, to be honest. But then when I started to be involved in this event organizing, in this campaign development, and then I started to find a new things, which is strategic communication, and then I started to take classes in strategic communications, and then, yeah, so basically one thing leads to another, and who knows that you might find your interest, and then which will be your future career, for instance. So yeah, just keep opening up your mind. All right, so yeah, so that's basically for me. So you have to be excited. Don't get nervous. Of course, nervous is fine. But I just would like to say that you're going to be fine. You'll be fine. Jalani aja. So just go with the flow. And, well, I will be here until the rest of the event. So if you have any questions, concerns, issues, just come to me. And, well, I wasn't in the state like that very long time. But, yeah, I mean, maybe I can share some tips on everything from my experience. So, yeah, so good luck, guys. And you'll be fine, okay?
Yay, thank you so much, Triwik. One question for you. Since you're mentioning journalism, can anybody who are actually planning to apply, boleh nggak sih esainya dibacain? jadi Triwik kayak dicekin gitu, kayak ngasih feedback on the essay.
Oh yeah, sure. Sure, I would love to.
Guys,
yeah, I would love to. So if any of you like in the same, I don't know, with the same program, is not really like maybe similar program. So I'm in communication and development studies. I also had a chance to study journalism in one of the best journalism schools in the States, which is Scripps Journalism School. So I guess in my year it was like in top 20 or something like that. So so if your program is similar to my program, just we can talk. Just come to me. I would love to help you guys with anything. Or if you have any concerns, issues, or anything, just come to me.
All right, thank you so much, Triwik, and we'll
You're
talk to
welcome.
you later on the discussion.
Sure.
Thanks. So hold it right there. We're not gonna invite Ray yet because we're going to have a break. But before we have the break, there are a couple of things that I would like to mention. Can I have a shout for anyone who is with the LPDP BIT? Yay, thank you guys so much for coming. We'll talk again after this. Kalau misalnya ada yang, because I mentioned earlier to one of you guys about the EducationUSA TAG program, Targeted Advising Group. We'll talk more about that. And I would also like to say hi to everyone who's watching us online because I got so many requests yang nggak bisa datang atau yang ada di luar Jakarta. So thank you guys. Please stay tuned. We're going to have a short break. Well, 30. Have enough break? I assume yes. All right, guys. So I forgot to mention something before. Buat yang lagi proses aplikasi, please stay tuned. Kita di bulan Juli on Saturdays akan ada Toefl Workshop, 4 kali pertemuan, free of charge. I know only 4 workshops won't be enough for you to take the test itself, but at least you got an idea of what the Toefl looks like and how to basically prepare more. So don't forget in July, guys. And all right, so I think while people are start coming in and settle down, we have our presentation by Raynaldi Inaray. He's also an alumni from Louisiana State University. He's gonna talk more about himself and especially talking about how to adjust your life in the US, including the culture shock and all that, all right? So please give a round of applause for Ray. And please, Ray, the floor is yours.
Halo, selamat siang semuanya. Kenalin, nama gue Ray. Pertama-tama gue pengen berterima kasih banget ke Vina, tim Education USA. Ini gue sebenarnya udah langganan jadi public speaker, cuman gue agak sedikit karatan sih. So, start a little bit. Kenalin, nama gue Ray. I'm an alumni of Louisiana State University. When I was there, my major was in geoscience. I specialized in sedimentology and coastal preservation, worked as an undergrad researcher, and blah, 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 blah. Gue tinggal di Bintaro, di Jakarta Selatan. My favorite foods are spaghetti bolognese, a warm croissant, and hot espresso, nasi goreng, and Indomie. Right, so dulu gue lulus dari SMA Pembangunan Jaya di Bintaro tahun 2010. I was a science major, and at one point I decided that I want to take a leap of faith, dan gue berterima kasih banget ke orang tua gue dan tentunya Tuhan Yang Maha Esa. Gue dikasih kesempatan untuk kuliah di luar negeri, di Amerika Serikat. Again, I want to say congratulations to the applicants who have been accepted to y'all universities. Y'all really, really deserve it. Great job, great job. Really happy for that. Right, so I went through the same process. I learned my TOEFL and I did my applications and everything, and I got accepted to a few universities. I took this one because it's quite affordable, yes. Jadi, adjusting to life in America, gimana sih jelasinnya? This is kind of tricky because this is going to be quite subjective. Ya kan? You have to also consider apapun yang terjadi ke gua, what works for me may work differently on other people, right? So gue inget pertama kali, jadi gue di Jakarta ini gue sebenarnya anak otomotif banget, right? So whenever you're traveling and then whenever you're experiencing this kind of experience in your life, it's very influential. Everything gets amplified very much. Jadi gue pas pertama kali nyampe ke US, gue inget banget, port of entry gue pertama kali itu Los Angeles, I went to LAX. Di sini udah ada yang mungkin pernah berpengalaman transit di LAX. I hated it. I think it's one of the worst airports in the world that I've ever been in. I don't know if anybody has ever experienced that. Tapi yang gue notice itu karena gue anak otomotif banget, jadi yang pertama kali gue notice pekerja airport di sana tuh bawa mobil Ford F350 heavy duty. Gue inget banget itu. Abis itu pas pesawat gue landing, ada nih pekerja yang ramah banget. He told us to, would you like to please move on to the next transit terminal and everything. And ini juga strikes me as my very first experience because he's African American, right? Gue belum pernah ketemu di Jakarta an African American, and he's like big, tall, well-built physique, and I thought, man, I'm gonna see LeBron James or something. Like this guy looks exactly like Will Smith, gitu kan? I'll never forget that day because that is the first day I touched ground in the United States of America's soil. Never forget that day. Now, this comes as a state of mind di mana gue jadinya shock, right? I didn't know it at that time because whenever you're experiencing culture shock, you don't really realize it, right? Gue setelah beberapa lama, gue setelah meninjau ulang experience gue di sana, baru gue nyadar, oh waktu itu tuh ternyata itu gue shock banget, gue culture shock, ya kan? Culture shock itu ada beberapa phase, right? So, gue pertama kali pas landing, terus gue excited ketemu LeBron James atau Will Smith, gue excited banget kan, gue excited banget, I'm so happy. That is called the honeymoon phase, right? I describe the honeymoon phase as rainbows, flowers, and butterflies. That's the honeymoon phase for me, right? And of course, LeBron James, Will Smith, and everybody else. Itu honeymoon phase gue. Now, in retrospect, again, culture shock itu, it has a few various stages. Nah, setelah gue honeymoon phase, I'm so excited kan, habis itu nyampe ke Baton Rouge, terus I saw the campus, and then I met new people, and then I went to downtown Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge itu, it's a small city in, well, it's actually the capital in Louisiana. I forgot how many people live there, but it's not that big. So I traveled around downtown, I was very excited, right? And then comes the first day of classes, right? You can kind of see where I'm going with this. Everything just goes, boom. Biology lab class, I remember that. Never forget it, any day of my life. Biology lab class, it was very intimidating. Pertama-pertama sih gue excited banget kan, oh man, I'm gonna start this new class. You're already in the United States, you know, you want to perform as best as you can because, you know, this kind of opportunity doesn't really happen to a lot of people. Gue sih waktu itu ngerasanya kayak gitu. So I was very fortunate with my experience. Gue datang ke kelas biology lab, very excited, tapi lama-lama kok kayak, it's a little bit difficult, ya kan? Gue sebenarnya kalau pas di SMA gue cukup pede sama bahasa Inggris gue. Gitu kan, terus kayak kita selalu ngobrol dalam bahasa Inggris, gue sama teman-teman gue. Tapi when I got there, you're speaking to an American where I feel I don't have a safety net. You know, if this guy doesn't know what I'm trying to say, then he doesn't get it, right? I get a little bit intimidated, and then that is the anxiety part. I get a little bit anxious. Now again, tapi ingat aja, this is what I experienced, right? Like not everyone will experience the same things that I experience. I'm a very emotional person, so you know I feel these things and then I kind of break it down. Nah, ada beberapa emang experience yang kerap selalu dialami oleh international students. Nah, pada saat lu ngalamin ya lu nggak akan ngerasa, cuman yang kerap dialami itu terjadi ke gue, mungkin terjadi juga ke Vina, mungkin terjadi juga ke panelis kita yang tadi juga share. Itu pertama I feel definitely anxious, terus loneliness, definitely loneliness. Terus abis itu gue juga ngerasa I'm very intimidated, ya kan? Gue juga ngerasa um, I couldn't sleep. Just this extreme anxiety kalau gue ngerasa gue udah nggak lagi di benua Asia, and it's very hard for me to come home, right? Stuff like, let me see, wrote it down here somewhere. Lack of confidence, mood swings and frustration, trouble concentrating. Lack of confidence itu benar-benar pas lagi di kelas biologi itu kena banget, lack of confidence, right? Tapi, so how do you overcome these kind of culture shocks, right? These are the issues that I experienced before. Tapi how do you overcome this? Now, for me, what I did, I believe in taking time. That time, it's all a progress, right? Just come to a realization that whatever you're experiencing, it is very much normal. Everybody experienced it. Gimana pun caranya, tapi culture shock itu pasti akan datang ke lo, gitu. And it is completely fine. It's completely fine. Give it some time, believe in yourself, right? Tapi sama seperti beberapa slides yang tadi gue lihat, being proactive, right? You join organizations, ya kan, terus tadi kayak Mas Akim kayaknya share dia nungguin bus, takutnya kalau miss itu dingin banget, itu kan culture juga kan. You have to be aware about that. Now, salah satu referensi gue, the Columbia Business School in New York, itu they had a survey that says 38% of their first year students experience culture shock in some way, dan 38% itu akan meningkat di tahun kedua. Kenapa? Karena biasanya 38% dari mahasiswa tahun pertama itu, they don't realize that they're experiencing culture shock until you get to the next stage. You get a little bit anxious, bahkan mungkin ada beberapa orang yang pulang, jangan sampai terjadi. Cuman, again, I give it some time. Balik lagi ke gue, I gave it some time. I made a lot of friends in the first year. It's just because I really want to practice my English. You know, I want to get used to it. I don't want to be a little bit too confined, right? Jadi salah satu teman gue tuh, dia orang Nigeria. He was so nice. We studied calculus together, everything. And then surrounding yourself with people from an international background as well, itu juga membantu banget pas gue di sana. Emang susah sih, whenever you're getting to the anxiety phase, it's very hard because, you know, it's not butterflies and rainbows anymore. It started going like thunderstorms and hurricanes. Udah mulai rasanya kayak gitu sih, kalau menurut gue ya kan. But I mean, setelah sekian waktu sih, you know, you're gonna get used to it. You're really gonna get used to it. Like, just give it some time. Just be confident. Right. Student-student relationships. So, waktu itu I did pack some of my favorite things from home. Really, what I think really works is that you need to build also a routinity. Just be really comfortable about yourself, right? Your experience going to the United States it's not just educational or academic, it's also getting to know yourself, right? So talk to other people about how you're feeling. Don't give up. This is all a natural process. All right, does anybody know what this means? Does anybody know what units it's in? All right, so freshman 15 itu ekspresi yang sering digunakan di United States, Canada, anywhere you go, is that I think you're actually still on the anxiety phase, so you eat a lot. Stress eating, basically. I think kalau menurut gue, interpretasi gue freshman itu, setuju gak sih lo? Ya kan? Kayaknya pada saat lo lagi anxiety, people have different ways that they want to cope with it. And I think a majority in the US, they stress eat and they gain 15 pounds on the first year. I mean, thankfully that didn't happen to me, thankfully. And then, I mean, if it happens, you know, if it happens, it happens. You know, your kesehatan mental lo kan kayaknya kalau gue bilang sih lebih penting, especially whenever you're there by yourself. and then you're adjusting, right? Nah, akhirnya fase terakhir yang membantu banget sih untuk membuat gue immersed. So I had a very humbling experience and an opportunity that I did immerse in the culture. Louisiana itu kalau kalian tahu, it's a small state on the southern part of North America. Kota yang gue tinggalin itu Baton Rouge is the capital city. And then I'm about an hour away from New Orleans. New Orleans is the birthplace of jazz in the world. It's very amazing. So the way I got immersed is by immersing myself in American values, culture, customs, greeting people. Now, this is gonna be interesting because I just asked Vina to, do something with me. So, jadi gini, if you meet, and you don't have to generalize this with Americans ya. Maksudnya kalian nggak perlu menggeneralisasi ini untuk semua American. Cuman, kebanyakan gini. So, if I meet an American, right? Coba, Vina. Say, jadi misalkan kita lagi
Who's
jalan.
the American here?
What?
You're the American?
We're both Americans.
Okay.
Well, no, we're both Indonesians.
You're both Indonesian, all
But
right.
we have American values because,
Sure.
right. Jadi kita lagi jalan, then this is what I'm gonna do. Hey, how are you? How are you doing?
Very good.
That's it. So, thank you, Vina. So what do you
Mungkin lo bisa
Gimana?
sharing kalau di Indonesia tuh what happened.
Nah. So what do you think how are you means whenever you're in the States? What do you think it means? How are you? It's just a hello. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how y'all doing? All right, I'm just gonna move on and do something else. Right? Kalau di Indonesia nih gini, kalau di Indonesia. Halo, apa kabar, Vin? Gila lo, udah lama banget gak ketemu.
I know, right?
Astaga, man, gila. Istrinya teman gue tuh anaknya udah 8 sekarang. You know, and then like, kucingnya tuh mati semua, udah. You know, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but you see what I'm saying, right? Whenever you speak to an American, like, whenever an American asks you, how are you? They don't want to know how your pets have been. They don't want to know about, your wife's friend or whatever. They're just gonna think, all right, could you just stay away from me? Right? You're a creep. Okay. All right. Ini contoh aja. This is like an American phrases. Terus ada lagi nih. Let's see. Let's see. Let's say you wanna ask someone out. Hey, Vina, you wanna have lunch sometime? Misalkan gitu. Terus and then she says, oh, hey, thank you. I'll think about it. Right? What do you think that means? Kalau di Indonesia kan mungkin lo diajakin lunch kayak, oh iya kapan ya? Kita bukber bareng aja kalau nggak udah lama nih nggak ketemu sama orang ini gitu kan. Kalau misalkan, hey, you wanna have lunch sometime? You know what? Yeah, thanks. I'll think about it. What do you think that means? They have thought about it. And they thought about saying no. That's probably what they're thinking. That happens, well, not too much, hopefully. Tapi, it takes some time. You just gotta get used to it a little bit. Ya kan? Terus, apalagi ya? Udah sih itu aja. banyak soalnya. Tapi culture or American phrases like this. Whenever you're immersing yourself in how to greet people, personal space and etiquette juga gitu kan. Like, if you overshare too much, you feel like you're actually infiltrating their personal space. It's not cool. It's not cool. Itu mungkin kalau di Indonesia, kita sedikit lebih fleksibel, gitu. We're more open, right? Like, lagi ngapain? Ini itu masih oke. Kalau di sana, quite individualistic, right? Unless you have more time to get to know the person. Time orientation definitely di sana nggak ada namanya waktu ngaret. Everything has to be on point. Social interaction visits, yeah, definitely. Tadi seperti Mbak Triwik bilang, ya kan, join organizations as much as you can. It's really fun. I was a geologist, so I joined the geology club. Terus abis itu juga ballroom dancing club. I tried that. That was really fun, right? Just to get over your anxieties, just explore as much as you can. I learned cooking as well. I think that's one of the best skills that I've probably learned from the States apart getting from my degree. Let's see. Right, fun facts. Did you guys know Manhattan's Chinatown has the most Chinese residents in the Western Hemisphere? Right, terus fun fact that I had for myself, how do y'all think that Louisianians say New Orleans? Is it Nolans, New Orleans, or New Orleans? It's Nolans. Hey, what's up? Where y'all from? I'm from Nolans. You know, fun fact of my own. The Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum, I had the opportunity to go there. It's the most visited museum in the US. It's awesome. Has like a lot of space and aircrafts and everything. If y'all have the opportunity to go there, I very much recommend it. Dari Baton Rouge itu, waktu itu gue pernah road trip naik mobil sama teman gue. It took me about 22 hours to get to Washington DC, about 26 hours to get to Pennsylvania. Itu ngelewatin southern states like Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. It's amazing. Let's see. I think that is pretty much for me. I would like to close by saying a quote by one of my favorite American philosophers and poet, Ralph Waldo Emerson. You guys know who this is? Right, so Ralph Waldo Emerson says that unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow. And I believe these experiences that you guys will have by studying abroad will definitely make you grow a lot more. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you juga.
All right,
Gina.
thank you, Ray. We're gonna call you up after on the discussion. Thank you. Okay, so after this, thank you. We have, like I mentioned, a special guest. He is the president of the Permias Nasional. I think we're still waiting for Aufa if he's inside. But if this is your first time in the States and you're gonna go there as a student, one of the ways for you to not feel alone is by, being active, joining activities, and usually it is done by the Permias, right? Perhimpunan Mahasiswa Amerika Serikat. Dan depends on which state you are in. Usually kalau misalnya kayak state-nya besar like Washington DC for example, or you are in the DMV area. DMV means DC, Maryland, Virginia. Itu biasanya mereka aktif banget because the KBRI is there, right? And Washington State, Seattle, California, obviously. Aufa will talk more about this. Do we have Aufa in the house? Can we check? Maybe we're still waiting for Aufa. But so yeah, I mean, biasanya kalau Permias itu ada two different groups. Ada yang dari state atau ada yang dari campus, right? So usually the bigger the campuses or the bigger Indonesian community in that campuses, biasanya mereka ada Permias. So for example, I'm an alumni from University of Maryland. When I get there, I learned that they don't actually have an Indonesian organization whatsoever. So I get there for the first time, I know nobody. And so I talk with the advisor there, and then he actually gave me an idea. Like, look, we can't tell you each Indonesian in University of Maryland karena itu rahasia ya, maksudnya kayak they can't just give out information. But he was like, yeah, I mean there is no Indonesian organization, but we have about like 20 of you guys here in campus. Why don't you make one? So I was like, what do you mean make one? Yeah, just make a new one. So it's part of like the activity that you can do in campus, right? So as it happened, so I created actually the first Indonesian organization in my campus back in 2010. So it's something, it's an example for that. Although di DMV area-nya sendiri, itu sudah ada Permias Indonesia, Permias DC, which is very, very, very active. But so definitely check out the Permias. I think we do still wait for Aufa if he's in the house, but I think we can start while we're waiting. Ada yang mau bertanya mungkin? While we're waiting, after Aufa, we're going to, after talking about the Permias, we're going to talk about visa. So someone from the U.S. Embassy will be coming here to talk about visa. After that, we are doing the discussion and Q&A, and then it's getting closer to the buka puasa, and then we're going to have the food ready. But I actually can take maybe 1-2 questions while we're waiting. Ada yang mau bertanya mungkin? Yes, mungkin tunggu sebentar mic-nya ya, dari atas lagi diambil.
Cek. Selamat sore, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan saya Gina. Pertanyaannya untuk Mas Hakim dan Mbak Triwik ya, yang sebelumnya tadi sudah menyampaikan. Entahlah, mungkin ini saya agak terlalu jauh sih mikirnya gini. Enggak, soal kitchen application tadi itu kan sebenarnya katanya murah ya kalau misalnya kita mau online juga gitu, nggak usah bawa Magicom ataupun kompor travel
rice
atau gimana
cooker,
ya gitu ya gitu. Tapi even bisa nggak sih kalau misalnya kita udah selesai studi terus kita mau jualnya lagi itu mudah atau bagaimana gitu. Tapi nggak tahu sih saya standar murahnya bagaimana gitu. Terus yang kedua itu soal mungkin ada nggak yang kuliah kan kita at least kalau misalnya US pasti kan pakai provider sana kan ya. Nah yang kita masih bisa nggak kayak misalnya kita keep gitu, kalau misalnya ada yang masih bisa aktif gitu sampai kita kembali lagi ke sini gitu ke Jakarta, mungkin nggak? Ya, tapi ya itu pertanyaan saya ya. Oke, terima kasih.
Alright, Mas Hakim atau Mbak Triwik mau coba jawab? Pengalaman mungkin ngejual barang lagi setelah dibeli?
Iya, terima kasih pertanyaannya. Jadi ini memang juga pertanyaan banyak orang gitu. Jadi pada saat nyampe apakah perlu juga beli atau setelah beli nanti kalau udah selesai setahun 2 tahun mau diapain lagi? Alhamdulillahnya pada saat saya kesana saya nggak beli apapun sih gitu. Jadi kebetulan ada tadi penting untuk tahu student organization. Biasanya karena di kampus kami banyak juga dari Asian imigran, jadi mereka biasanya juga menggunakan rice cooker. Dan biasanya di on campus itu mereka akan setelah mereka selesai mereka akan taruh aja di depan di hall, dan itu siapa nanti kita bisa koordinasi dengan orang di sana di kampus dan itu kita bisa dapat gitu for free. Jadi tidak harus membeli. Itu salah satu option. Yang berikutnya memang adalah ke Asian market dan itu memang harganya kurang lebih 6 sampai $10 gitu untuk satu rice cooker. Karena kita kan nggak perlu rice cooker yang besar ya, paling cuma buat satu orang gitu. Jadi nggak perlu yang kapasitasnya besar. Nah, mostly kalau yang saya tahu biasanya setelah itu jika ada mahasiswa Indonesia berikutnya itu biasanya diserah terimakan gitu. Nah kalau misalnya untuk deal harga itu biasanya sih keputusan bersama gitu. Misalnya kalau memang teman yang baru willingness untuk membayar misalnya $3 atau $4 ya itu adalah keputusan yang diambil bareng. Tapi mostly biasanya didonasikan. Terus tadi yang kedua terkait dengan provider. Oke. Yang waktu saya berangkat memang akhirnya saya harus kehilangan nomor Indonesia karena saat itu memang belum memungkinkan sistem bahwa nomor saya akan bisa dipakai lagi setelah kurang lebih 4,5 tahun gitu. Jadi tapi sebenarnya itu bisa tetap dipakai kalau memang tetap diisi sebenarnya gitu. Tapi permasalahannya kan yang harus kita pikirkan siapa yang akan memakai nomor tersebut di Indonesia. Atau pilihan keduanya emang talk to the provider yang di Indonesia memungkinkan nggak kalau nomor itu bisa dipending gitu. Misalnya untuk di hold sementara. Nah untuk itu saya nggak tahu sih kalau sekarang sistemnya seperti apa. Tapi waktu zaman saya itu tidak bisa, jadi memang mau nggak mau harus merelakan nomor telepon yang lama untuk hangus tidak bisa dipakai lagi.
If I can speak from my experience, sebenarnya bisa. Jadi nanti kayak isi pulsanya, kayak minta orang rumah aja isi pulsa, and then it's automatically masuk sih. Mbak Tri mungkin mau nambahin ya?
Saya mau nambahin aja tentang Magicom atau rice cooker itu tadi ya. Terus terang dari sini saya juga nggak bawa apa-apa ya, cuma bawa badan aja gitu ya. Dan kebetulan saya juga nggak terlalu sering makan nasi sih di sana gitu. Jadi saya memang nggak beli rice cooker di sana. Tapi kalau ingin beli rice cooker atau Magicom itu sebenarnya ada yang namanya thrift shop. Jadi itu this is so cool. Jadi they kind of like sell like second hand stuffs dari clothing, terus kemudian dari kitchen appliances, terus dari houseware segala macam. Jadi semuanya ada di situ. Dan itu harganya jauh lebih murah daripada misalkan beli yang baru. Gitu. Jadi saya sarankan pasti di setiap kota tuh ada, di kota saya yang kecil pun ada gitu ya. Itu rajin-rajin ke thrift shop. Terus di situ biasanya barangnya masih bagus sih, mereka nggak akan jual barang yang sudah rusak ya gitu ya. Jadi coba aja gitu, just go to the thrift shop, to the nearest thrift shops, and then they usually have this kind of things. And sometimes orang-orang yang mereka move out dari apartemen mereka juga jualin barang-barang mereka gelar di depan gitu. Terus ya, so you can just buy those stuffs gitu. Untuk harga itu bisa nego biasanya dengan si pemilik barang. Biasanya students yang mau move out tuh biasanya mereka jualin furniture segala macem. Jadi saya pernah waktu pindah apartemen waktu itu, I got them all like for free, the furnitures like tables, desks and everything. So gotong-gotong dengan teman housemate gitu ya. So jadi rajin-rajin aja sih. Biasanya banyak juga pengumuman di yang mereka nempel pengumuman di kampus gitu, di toilet atau segala macam gitu kan, for free gitu kan, moving out, lalalala. Mereka akan sell stuff dan segala macam gitu. Terus untuk yang SIM card, awalnya saya sempat isi nomor saya yang Indonesia, tapi abis itu saya lupa untuk isi lagi, so I just let it go, sudah lah ya gitu maksudnya, gitu. Thank you.
Alright, so speaking of thrift shop itu bagus banget sih that you bring this up. Kalau itu is second hand stuff, kalau di Indonesia jeleknya barang bekas. Mungkin kalian kayak, what, I'm buying like barang bekas, but actually a lot of Americans do it, and it's actually, I mean it's still a good, and you have a good deal too. So please check it out maybe, like maybe what Ray mentioned, part of the American culture. So, all right, so Aufa is here. We ready for the fun presentation about Permias, especially for you guys yang akan berangkat ke US. So, can we give a round of applause for Aufa to get on a stage? Maybe talk a little bit about yourself, and then we can start the presentation.
Selamat sore semuanya, Bapak Ibu sekalian dan juga rekan-rekan teman-teman semua yang akan berangkat ke Amerika. Perkenalkan, nama saya Aufa Amirullah. Saya saat ini sedang menempuh pendidikan di University of Colorado Boulder dengan jurusan Aerospace Engineering with minor in Engineering Management. Nah, terima kasih. Jadi saat ini saya sendiri terlibat di dalam Indonesian Student Association atau biasa disebut dengan Permias. Permias itu singkatannya adalah Persatuan Mahasiswa Indonesia di Amerika Serikat. Nah, jadi buat teman-teman sekalian yang akan berangkat ke sana, nanti jangan kaget kalau misalkan di kota atau di sekolah-sekolahnya terdapat organisasi namanya Permias. Nah, mereka itu adalah part of Permias Nasional. Jadi Permias itu ada Permias Nasional dan juga ada Permias di sekolah-sekolah. Oke, ini sedikit gambaran tentang sejarah Permias. Jadi saya singkat saja di sini ya. Jadi Permias itu dibentuk tahun 1961, waktu itu di Washington DC. Tujuannya untuk mengumpulkan seluruh mahasiswa Indonesia yang belajar di Amerika, begitu. Nah, kemudian pada perkembangannya Permias sempat vakum, ada pasang surutnya lah organisasi Permias ini. Sampai akhirnya tahun 2013 dibangkitkan kembali oleh Duta Besar RI untuk Amerika, Bapak Dino Patijalal saat itu ya. Oke, selanjutnya ini adalah struktur organisasi kami. Ketua umumnya itu saya sendiri saat ini, kemudian ada wakil ketua, sekretaris bendahara. Nah, ini adalah tim dari Permias Nasional saat ini, dinamai Kabinet Palapa. Beberapa dari kami ada yang sudah lulus pada tahun ini, pada bulan ini ya, bulan Mei kemarin ada beberapa yang sudah lulus, ada juga yang masih melanjutkan studinya. Kemudian, nah di Permias Nasional saat ini membawahi 51 chapters atau 51 permias cabang tersebar di seluruh wilayah Amerika Serikat dari West Coast through East Coast ya. Berikut ini adalah Northeast chapters. Mungkin dari teman-teman sekalian yang akan berangkat ke wilayah Northeast chapters nanti bisa menghubungi permias tempat. Ada di situ ada permias Buffalo, Massachusetts, New Jersey dan sebagainya sampai Washington DC untuk bagian Northeast chapters. Selanjutnya ada South chapters, di situ ada Austin, Central Florida, Kentucky, ya. Kemudian yang berikutnya ada Midwest chapters. Teman-teman di sini bisa melihat, ya. Bagi teman-teman nanti yang akan belajar di area wilayah ini bisa langsung menghubungi permias chapters, di mana kontak permias chapters ini ada di website Permias Nasional, yaitu permiasnasional.com. Ya. Oke, selanjutnya sebagai sebuah organisasi mahasiswa, kami tentunya memiliki beberapa program dan event yang saat ini masih berlanjut. Jadi kepengurusan kami ini berjalan selama 1 tahun. Dari bulan September sampai nanti September lagi. Yang pertama ada program Permias Magazine, di mana selama Permias telah terbentuk, Permias sudah mengeluarkan 5 edisi. Edisi terbaru yaitu edisi kelima kemarin sudah diluncurkan. Sebelumnya kami hanya memproduksi dalam versi digital saja, tapi pada kepengurusan yang baru ini kami berusaha untuk mencetak versi majalahnya. Ini 5th edition dan nanti yang edisi ke-6 kemungkinan akan kami rilis bulan depan, bulan Juli ya. Terus kemudian kami juga ada Permias Cup, di mana Permias Cup ini pertandingan olahraga antara sesama mahasiswa dari berbagai state. Untuk ini adalah contoh dari Permias Midwest Cup. Jadi kami bagi per regional, ya, yang ini di mana hostnya di host oleh Permias Purdue. Kemudian kami juga memiliki Permias TV. Jadi bagi teman-teman sekalian yang mungkin ingin lebih tahu tentang apa sih kegiatan Permias, kegiatan mahasiswa Indonesia di Amerika Serikat itu seperti apa, bisa langsung cek ke YouTube channel kami, yaitu di Permias TV. Di situ ada berbagai karya video dari teman-teman mahasiswa yang sudah belajar di sana lebih dulu. Kemudian yang ini adalah Permias Database. Jadi Permias Nasional selaku induk organisasi melakukan database. Saat ini yang tercatat di data kami ada 1018 mahasiswa Indonesia yang belajar di seluruh wilayah Amerika, dan ini hanya perkiraan sementara, tapi kami expect ada mungkin sekitar 3.000 lebih mahasiswa yang masih belum tercatat di data kami. Ya. Kemudian yang terakhir adalah Kongres Permias Nasional, di mana Kongres Permias Nasional ini pada tahun ini akan diselenggarakan di Denver, Colorado. Nah, mungkin nanti teman-teman kalau berkesempatan silahkan datang ke Denver, Colorado, jadwalnya tanggal September 1 sampai 2 hari di Colorado. Permias Nasional akan mengadakan penggantian pengurus, ya. Selain itu juga, selain event-event ini tadi, kami juga Permias Nasional saat ini untuk pertama kalinya memiliki mengadakan event di Indonesia. Sebelum-sebelumnya kami tidak pernah mengadakan event di Indonesia, tapi pada tahun ini, khusus tahun ini kami berusaha untuk mengadakan event di Indonesia, yaitu yang pertama adalah Build Bajo, ya, maaf karena slide-nya tidak ada di sini. Terus kemudian yang kedua nanti untuk teman-teman sekalian, Permias Nasional juga akan mengadakan event berkolaborasi dengan ICY, Indonesian Civic Youth, di mana nanti pada tanggal 4 Agustus silahkan bagi teman-teman yang tertarik untuk datang. Nanti di acara tersebut akan ada banyak sekali teman-teman langsung dari Permias Chapter, ada Permias dari San Francisco, Massachusetts, New York, dan sebagainya akan berkumpul di satu tempat membuka booth. Nah, nanti di situ teman-teman sekalian bisa langsung mungkin bertanya tentang pengalaman dari masing-masing mahasiswa. Untuk selanjutnya kami bisa dihubungi di website kami permiasnasional.com atau melalui email permias.official@gmail.com, juga Instagram, Facebook, dan YouTube. Demikian mungkin yang dapat saya sampaikan untuk organisasi Permias. Kurang lebihnya mohon maaf, terima kasih dan selamat sore.
Thank you Alpha. Aku ada pertanyaan nih. Jadi assuming with the Permias chapter, karena mereka basically come and go ya, ada yang lulus, ada yang pulang ke Indonesia. So does that mean that you always need people? So can these people who are actually living for the States, mereka bisa join nggak sih?
Ya.
Kayak misalnya jadi di Permias mana gitu.
Jadi maksudnya ini ya, kalau misalkan
salah satu bagian dari Permias, misalnya kayak ngurus apanya, ketuanya kah atau?
Iya, ya jadi Permias ini terbuka untuk seluruh teman-teman. Jadi bagi teman-teman yang memang ibaratnya sangat menggebu-gebu, pengen ikut organisasi kemahasiswaan, tapi masih ingin berada di lingkup Indonesia, silakan aja langsung kontak ke Permias masing-masing. Apabila teman-teman tertarik, oh saya pengen ikut nih jadi partisipasi jadi board membernya salah satu Permias chapter, silakan aja hubungi, nanti bisa melalui website Permias Nasional, permiasnasional.com. Di situ nanti ada banyak sekali kontak dari Permias chapters yang bisa dihubungi. Jadi sangat mudah sekali untuk me-reach out dari Permias chapters itu sendiri.
I think it's really great that you guys actually re-establish it back in 2013. So please use it, guys. I think it's amazing to bring the togetherness as an Indonesian in the States. Thank you so much, Aufa. Oh, sama tadi aku mau kayak nambahin lagi sih. Tadi kan Aufa mention so far ada 1018 or something.
1018.
And then you expecting there are 3,000 more.
Yeah.
If I can actually correct the number, we actually have over 8,000 Indonesian currently in the States. So we definitely need these Indonesians to actually joining the Permias to make it more. Basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Aufa. Nanti kita ngobrol-ngobrol lagi di discussion. So, thank you. Nanti aku panggil lagi. Okay, so now visa. We already have someone from the U.S. Embassy Jakarta ready, but we are going to play a video first before the presentation.
Kenapa pilih di US? Karena memang US memiliki pendidikan salah satu terbaik di dunia.
Alasan mengapa saya memilih Amerika Serikat sebagai negara tujuan adalah tentunya karena kualitas pendidikan yang sangat baik di Amerika Serikat dan juga adanya perbedaan sistem hukum karena saya mahasiswa hukum antara Amerika Serikat dengan Indonesia. Sehingga saya berharap bisa mempelajari sistem hukum yang berbeda dan dapat menerapkan nilai-nilai positif dari sana ke Indonesia.
Saya memilih Amerika karena saya percaya bahwa kualitas pendidikan terbaik di dunia masih dipegang oleh Amerika Serikat. Dan saya memilih bisnis karena di Amerika banyak tingkat inovasi dan penemuan-penemuan yang banyak dapat saya pelajari.
Saya sejauh ini sudah mendapatkan visa tentunya.
Kunci nomor 1 adalah percaya diri. Teman-teman jangan takut untuk mendaftar.
Sekembalinya saya ke Indonesia nanti bisa turut serta membangun Indonesia yang tentunya bisa berdampak positif terhadap masa depan Indonesia.
Saya menyarankan teman-teman untuk tetap bermimpi tinggi, kejar cita-cita, dan jangan takut terhadap kegagalan karena gagal itu hanya keberhasilan yang tertunda.
Anak Indonesia bisa.
So can we invite Trent to the stage? All right, hi Trent. The floor is yours.
Hello. Can you hear me? Good. So I'm going to talk a little quick, going to go through some slides, but how many people already have visas? Did I interview any of you? I'm actually one of the people at the embassy who does the interviews. So I'm going to give you good information today about what we need and what's going to help you speed this along. I don't want you to be nervous. There's 5 steps to getting a student visa. You can read them here. The very first and foremost is the SEVIS, going to study to America, going to a school. I think most of you have schools already, and they're on this list, so I won't touch on that too much. The Form I-20 is very important. It is your document that will help allow you to get your visa. It will allow you to study in America. After you receive your Form I-20 from the school, you'll go to FMJ fee and pay a fee. This is what I'm going to talk about a lot, is SEVIS. It is the most important thing a student in America has, because it is what allows you to study in America, it tracks your progress, and it ensures that you meet all the requirements, okay? When you're ready for an interview, you'll fill out the application online at the Visa USA Travel Docs, and then you're going to come talk to me. Okay? And we are going to talk in English, which is why I'm talking in English today. My Indonesian is not very good, but we'll do that. So, what do you bring to the interview? Of course, your confirmation letter. When you fill out your application, you'll get a confirmation letter online. You'll print it, the DS-160 confirmation page, and you will bring it to the interview with you. You're also going to bring a photo. All this is online. So I'll answer questions during the interview portion, but I'm just going over this. And then the passport. Make sure your passport has at least 6 months validity left on it, okay? The I-20, of course, and then you're going to bring your SEVIS form. When you paid online, you got a SEVIS form, a receipt. You're going to bring that with you, okay? And then if you've got a scholarship, you're going to bring paperwork. Explain that scholarship to me. If your parents are paying for your school, I need to understand how they're paying for that. So if I ask you what your father or your mother do and you say they work, doesn't help me, okay? And if you don't know what your father or mother do, sit down with them and ask them what they do, okay? Processing time. So you can see here, we say at least a month in advance of your start date. You can come in as early as you like. Once you have a solid school, once you have your I-20, come see us. Set up the interview. Come see us, okay? You have a limited number of time. The visa, we can issue it up to 120 days before your start date. Now, you can enter the U.S. up to 30 days in advance. That means you can go 30 days in advance, you can visit the school, you can do some tourism, you can play around, but you can get your visa up to 120 days in advance. And I highly recommend you get it early, okay? Parents, if you have a problem and don't think your kids are going to go to school without you being there, that's fine. We will issue you a tourist visa. You can go visit them. Moms, you cannot live with your son or daughter in America on a tourist visa. We'll talk about that in question sessions if you need to. When you're in school, you get a visa, you go to America, you enter. At that time, the visa doesn't really matter anymore. The visa can expire while you're in America. The important thing is your SEVIS, making sure that you are a real student, you're meeting all the requirements, and you're enrolled properly in a school. But when it comes time for you to renew your visa, because maybe you've come home for a holiday and now you need to go back, you'll be able to do that with what's called the interview waiver program. I won't need to have you come in and talk to me again. As long as you're still in the same school, you're still in the same program, and your SEVIS has been kept up to date. Once your visa expires, you have up to a year within that time to renew that visa without having to come see me again. I'm fun to talk to, but believe me, it's much better when you don't have to, okay? Now, I'm sorry to say, we do refuse some visas, okay? Biggest reason we refuse visas, when someone can't talk to us about their school. If you applied to 15 schools and only one accepted you, that's a good thing. One accepted you. So when I ask you, why did you choose this school? Don't try to tell me something I want to hear. Tell me, I applied to 15 schools. This is the only one that said yes. Okay? It's fine. I just want to know that. If you applied to one school and you got the school you wanted, well, good for you. But it's sometimes better to apply to 5, 6, 10, 15 schools, okay? And have a choice. Also, finances are important. You can't go to America and live off the American taxpayers, okay? So unfortunately, as part of the law, you've got to be able to pay for your school. In many cases, we have all kinds of scholarships. The American government pays for some of you guys. I know there's scholarships throughout Indonesia. I'm going to ask you how you got that scholarship. I mean, if somebody walked into your school and said, you look good, here, have some money. That's fine, tell me that. But if you had to write essays, if you had to do interviews, if you had to make videos, all that stuff is stuff I want to know, okay? I find it interesting. Don't tell me what I want to hear, because you honestly don't know what I want to hear. This is a big problem I have. People come up and they're nervous and they're like, oh, he wants to know what my grades are, so I make straight A's. And you're a B student, okay? It's good to be a B student, okay? So don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me the truth. Just talk to me. That's what we want. I will tell you that if you've been convicted of a crime, you might have issues. Pretty sure that's across the board anywhere, though. If you've done drugs, we're going to require a few extra steps. None of you in here have done that. I know that. If you've ever had a visa and you've had a problem before, most of you won't. But sometimes you have people in your family who have had problems. If you had an aunt who went to America and stayed for 6 years and got in trouble, I'm not going to hold that against you. But understand, we may have to talk about it and we may talk to you. But if you've been to America and you lived for 6 years and you come back and want to go to school now, we're going to have a lot of issues, okay? So previous overstays is actually something we have problems with. When you travel, of course, most important thing, passport, everybody knows this, but you also have to have your I-20. You're going to make 3 copies of your I-20, okay? I also recommend you make more than that. Have people here in Indonesia with copies of your I-20. Take copies of your I-20 with you. Put copies of your I-20 in your suitcase. The I-20 is important that you have it. However, don't put this stuff in your checked bags. When you get to the border, they're going to want to see this stuff, and you don't have access to your checked bags, okay? Also, who can tell me who the most important official is at your school you're going to? Anybody? Throw it out there. What's the most important person? Most of you are saying like your student counselors or your student rep. No, it's your SEVIS officer, your designated school official responsible for SEVIS, okay? When you get in country, call them. You should have that number. Matter of fact, if you get to the border and they're giving you a hard time because of your I-20, you should say, can I call my school coordinator, okay? That SEVIS coordinator is what I'm calling them, the DSO, designated school officer or designated SEVIS officer, is the most important person at your school besides you, okay? If you change schools, I fully endorse people going to America, studying at a community college for a couple years, and then transferring to a bigger school. It's a good way to save thousands of dollars, okay? And it's just as good. But when you change schools, the SEVIS coordinator or the DSO at your school plus the DSO at your new school must know ahead of time. They will document it, and I will be able to see that track. As long as your SEVIS stays solid, stays good, and no problems, you'll find it's much easier, okay? So know who that person is, have the phone number available to you, and take it with you on the plane. If you get to the border and you're missing any of these documents, the worst case scenario, they turn you around and send you home. And that's expensive because you guys have to cover that cost. But even if it's just something minor, you're going to go to secondary and you're going to be stuck there for hours and hours and hours, okay? So have these documents ready for you, have them available, and be able to use them if you need to. So what is SEVIS? SEVIS is important. It's a web-based system. You go online, you pay for this. It is the most important thing you online. It tracks everything you do. It monitors whether you're meeting all requirements in the program, and it allows schools to report how you're doing. I'll tell you right now, if you're going to America to attend a party school because you want to party all the time, it'll be a short trip in America, okay? I have no problem with you having a little fun, but it's important. SEVIS requires that you maintain certain levels of grades and that you try. If you're in a class and you're having trouble with that class, talk to your designated school official before you fail the class, okay? If you don't maintain your status, first and foremost, we're not going to let you back in the country if you leave, okay? Secondly, we can and will remove you from the country. I would love to tell you that doesn't happen, but unfortunately it happens quite a bit. Not because we're out to get you, it's because somebody goes there and does what I said, they party. Or they go there and they don't try, they just want to spend time with their family who lives there or something. You have to study, you've got to put the work in, okay? So how do you maintain your status? First and foremost, you enter 30 days before your program starts, no more than that. Some of you have a tourist visa, I'm betting. If you have a tourist visa, you can go to America anytime you want for 5 years while that visa is active. However, if you have a student visa as well and you're going to America to study, then you can go 60 days in advance if you want on your tourist visa, but before you study, you need to leave the country and change your status, okay? Yes, I'm going to tell you there are ways of doing that in country. It is a pain and it doesn't always work. The easiest thing to do is just go to Canada, go to Mexico, and come back in 1 day later. But I'm just telling you because we have a lot of people who do this. You must enter on your student visa, okay? Your school official needs to be contacted as soon as possible. And then when you get to school, you call them or you go see them and you say hi and say, I'm here, okay? Don't trust that they're going to know. Make contact. I always recommend email because then you've got a record as well. When you study in the U.S., you've got to attend and pass all your classes. So, like I said, you start a class and you're having a hard time and you know you're not going to pass. That happens. Talk to your designated school official before you fail that class. Let them work with you. They want to keep you there. We want you to stay there. They'll work with you, okay? If you have any trouble, any problems at all, if you get a ticket for running a stop sign or you get a ticket for freaking parking somewhere, go talk to your designated school official. Just make sure they're in the loop. No, they don't really need to know, but it's a good idea to have them on your side, okay? Also, you can work if you're in America, okay, on a student visa. However, you must get it approved first. So I highly recommend working at a university because you can pay back your tuition as you work. However, your DSO must know about it. You've got to get permission for it, and then you do your thing, okay? In addition to this, at the end of your studies, say you're studying for a bachelor's degree, we have a thing called OPT where you can work and make money. It's kind of cool. So you see I'm driving this home here? DSO, your best friend, okay? If the DSO can't help you, we do have an email here. This is something you should know, and you can get it online as well. If your DSO is not responding to you, if you're at one of those very, very rare schools where the DSO isn't helpful, or maybe the DSO gets sick and you don't see them for 3 months, you can email here, okay? So when do you talk to your DSO? We've covered it all. You drop a class, talk to your DSO. You change programs, DSO. Transfer schools, DSO, old school and new school. Take a break from school. Maybe you're going to take a semester off so you can go home because your mom's sick or because your sister's sick or whatever. Fine. Talk to your DSO. You can do this. It's not a problem. We want you to be able to have a life too. If you move to a new address, people do this all the time and it causes problems because the DSO needs something one day. They reach out to the new address and lo and behold, you're not there because you moved. We got to know this, okay? And then transferring schools, if anybody has any questions about this, I'll talk to you during the question and answer session, but you can transfer schools. You aren't stuck at a school, okay? Can you work? We covered this. You can, but you must get permission. You must talk to your DSO. A lot of things must be done, okay? And then after you finish school, you can stay for a little bit. You can go out and party or whatever you want to do. That's fine. However, notice you have 60 days after the end of your program to leave, okay? 60 days is a long time. So celebrate, have fun, go see family, but then you must leave, okay? If you have a tourist visa, you must leave to come in on your tourist visa, okay? Again, there's ways of transferring, but that's a pain in the butt. The easiest thing to do is leave the country and come back in, okay? And then you can change of status, because I'm not gonna tell you, you're not gonna get a job offer. We get a lot of really smart people from Indonesia, and they do this all the time. They get job offers. Exxon always is hiring people. Chevron, Shell, those are all the oil companies I know do it. HP, Dell, God, I can go on and on. Constantly hiring you people because you're smart. Well, when that happens, the DSO and DHS will help you change statuses, okay? But again, you must change status, H-1B, whatever needs to be done. And there's a lot of different visas we can use to help you get there. So again, depends on your program, how long you can stay, but your I-20 is going to have that information for you. The visa has an expiration date on it. In F1 cases, it's a year with multiple entries. You can enter America multiple times during that year. You can come home and visit, you can go back. If you're in the country and the visa expires, you're still okay. The visa is talking about entering America. So as long as your visa is valid, you can enter America on it, okay? If your visa expires while in America, you can still do your thing, no problem. It's just when you leave, you're gonna have to reapply, okay? So again, you can reapply online, you get back to America, you can get back to Indonesia, you can submit your passport and get your visa and you can come back. It's not a problem, and we'll work with you on all this. Decisions you make while you're a student last for a very long time. Unfortunately, this past week, I am very much bound by US law. I denied 2 people visas to America. One of them was for work and one of them was for vacation because they had problems while they were studying, okay? So if you don't qualify your program, you don't finish your program, you don't follow the rules, it will affect you wrongly, okay? We've got some great websites here. Most of you have them. Take pictures of this if you don't. Studyinthestates.dhs.gov is a fantastic website with tons of information. And then, of course, you can always go to our webpage here in Indonesia. We have great information there as well. And then, of course, stick around afterwards and talk some more. And congratulations to all of you. I'm excited for you.
All right. And look at that. We're so on time.
Well,
we have 1 second.
I was a Marine, and I see a clock in front of me. I stick to it. That's why I ran. You feel I'm out of breath now. I need a drink or something, right? Shit.
All right, thank you so much, Trent. I would actually like to call up all the panelists from earlier. Ray, Triwik, Mas Akim, and Aufa. So, and then you can start asking, guys. So wait for the mic, and if you are if you're asking and you're a student who are going to the States, you want to tell your name and where you're going and what you're going to study. All right? Okay. Do we have first? Yes, mbaknya yang di depan. Tunggu sebentar ya, mic-nya. Ada di depan? Ya.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Faradila, and my question is for Trent. So, my question is...
Can you mention where you're going and what you're going to study?
Okay, my name is Faradila, and I'm going to Arizona State University by Fulbright Scholarship. My question is for Trent, and this is particularly about master students who hold J1 visa. So, is it true that for us master students who is a J1 visa holder can only go to other countries besides US during our first year. So in our final year, which is on the second year, we basically cannot go anywhere outside US or our home country. Thank you.
That's a good question. The question was, if I'm understanding, is when you're on a J1 visa, after the first year, are you still able to leave the country and go other places? There's a fallacy here, and it's because people get confused with something called 212E. When you're a J1 visa, and if you don't know, some of you are going to be on F1 visas, some of you are going to be on J1 visas. The J1 visa has a requirement for certain degree programs that the United States and Indonesia has agreed upon, and that is after your program, you'll be required to come back and work in Indonesia for up to 2 years before you're able to go back and work or school in America again. Honestly, there's a bunch of ways around that. However, people have confused that with, I can't leave the country on the J1 for 2 years. No, the J1 is a valid visa that's good for the duration of your program. As long as you're active and your service is valid and you are meeting all the requirements, you can come and go as often as you need to, okay? It's not a problem. Does that answer your question?
So in my final year, I basically can go to other countries?
We have people, I issued 2 visas this week, tourist visas to people who left the J1 program, they finished their degree and they left, and I had to give them tourist visas to go back and graduate. So yes, you can come and go, and we'll work with you to get you back if we need to.
All right. Yes.
Hi, my name is Simon Huta Barat. I'm pursuing PhD degree in economics to Colorado State University. Continuing from the question from Paradila, it's about J1 visa. I also got the J1 visa and only valid for 1 year. So if I want to extend the visa status, I have to go back to Indonesia. That's kind of trouble. So how can I do to
Well, we're back to the confusion about when a visa expires and when your program expires. What I see now, what you're saying is the visa expires after a year. That has nothing to do with your program. What that is agreement between US and Indonesia that says that those visas are only good for a year. However, you can keep studying. If you leave the country, you will have to get a new visa. And this is where the interview waiver program comes in. You come back to Indonesia, it takes about 5 to 10 days. So you come back, you send in your application, you send in your passport for interview waiver, you go online, you fill out all your information, we approve it, we issue your visa, we send it back to you in Indonesia, then you go back to America. And it's good for another year from that point. So yes, I'm sorry, I see where you're going now. The visas are good for a year, but again, a lot of people take that to mean my visa expires, now I have to stay in the country for 4 years while I finish my program. No. Take a summer break, take a semester off. We need about 10 days, and I say that conservatively, to issue you a new visa so that you can leave and come back to America on your visa.
Well, that's new, because I asked my professor that said that if you want to stay in the United States for about 5 years, you don't have to go back to Indonesia. Stay there and maintain your visa status. So how can that be?
I think it's just a confusion. Honestly, if you enter the country and you start your program, as long as your service is valid the entire time, I mean, I have people stay in America for 6 years. I've had PhD programs go for 5 or 6 years. I've had people take bachelor's. Actually, I had a person the other day, finished high school in America, went to college in America, and did their master's in America. They were in America for 6 years and never left, all because their service was valid the whole time. So you can do that.
Thank you, sir.
All right. That one? This part? Yes, yang paling belakang.
Hello, I'm Bams. Gonna go to the Northwestern University. Just have a question also the same about J1, because some of my colleagues also we're gonna get for a J1 visa for a PhD. It's gonna last for the program gonna be like around 6 to 7 years. But anyway, my question is that referring to the DSO point that you mentioned, that when we're gonna leave the country for any reason like field work or holiday or whatever it is, then we're gonna have to inform the DSO, like, right? But then my question is that under the J1 regime, visa regime, would that be required for us to have like a formal or official permission to leave the country during the, like the program, or just simply notifying that, hey, we are leaving for like, say, a week or two, and then we're coming back? Could you, yeah.
Yep, when you have your DSO, designated school official, who is also your SEVIS coordinator, as long as they know when you're leaving and when you're coming back, you'll be fine. The SEVIS coordinator can authorize you to take an entire semester off if you want. As long as, to be a valid student, it covers the entire year. As long as you're a full-time student for the year, you meet the requirement. So keep that in mind, the designated school official. If you have a 12-month visa and you go to school and 6 months in, you leave and you come back on that visa, you now have 5.5 months left. 1 month before that visa expires, you leave and you come back in with only 2 days left on that visa, we're still gonna let you in. You can travel as much as you want, as long as you have that valid visa. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes. Sorry. Just to a bit to confirm. So does that mean that before leaving the country, the DSO, we have to receive the clear authorization or official letter saying that, yeah, we are good to go, or just simply notifying?
Okay, so I would like to share my experience. So I'm under Fulbright. So it was also, there's a confusion between Fulbrighters in the States at that time. I checked my visa, I was like, oh, it's only 1 year, what am I gonna do? So, but Fulbright will take care of that. Basically, I contacted IIE, so that's Fulbright in the States. So before my visa expired, so basically Fulbright is, IIE is my contact person for everything there, for visa, and then any other stuff, academic stuff there, especially for visa thing. So basically before my visa get expired, I contacted IIE about that, and I also will tell you what to do. So basically they will take care of that. In terms of if you want to go out of the country, for instance, for vacation during your study time there, for instance, you study for 2 years in the US, and then you're under J1 visa. I was also on J1 visa, so expired 1 year, right? But then I remember that time I was about to go to Mexico for vacation, so I contacted IIE. So I'm going to go to Mexico for vacation, but my visa is already expired. So what am I gonna do? Can I still go to Mexico for vacations? And then IIE told me, oh yeah, you still can do that, but you need to apply for a Mexican visa. And then before you go to Mexico, you have to notify ICE for a certain of times. So you need to double check it with your sponsor. In my case, it was IIE. So I checked with IIE like the requirements and everything. So at that time, I remember that I need to submit like a letter to authorize them to allow me to go go outside the US at the time. And I got the authorization. I went to Mexico. I had fun in Mexico. So yeah, so basically, please double check with your sponsor. If you're Fulbrighter, then you can check with IIE. Always check and double check. And also, you need to follow their deadlines. For instance, just remember you need to submit everything beforehand. So yeah, my suggestion is just check with your sponsor, and then always check, like translate the DSO in your campus.
And if I may, I see this a lot in certain cultures where people, I don't know, it's like they're afraid to ask for help. So I'm going to throw this out there. We want you to study in America, okay? The school wants you to be there. Your designated school official, your service coordinator wants to help you. All these tools are there for you, so please talk to these people. If you got a scholarship, they have a point of contact, talk to them. That email I had up on the board, if the designated school official isn't giving you the attention you need, there's a way to go over their head in a polite way. It is what you should do. Use these tools and be comfortable when you travel. Talk to these people. They will all help you. We want you to be there. We want you to be able to travel, we want you to have a good time, and we want you to study.
All right, does that help?
Yes, thanks.
All right, thank you. Kita bolak-balik ya, kanan kiri kanan kiri. Yes, mbaknya pakai baju kuning.
Hi, my name is Dian Prastiawati. I will be attending PhD study in the University of Washington, Urban Design. My question is because I'm bringing 2 kids with me today. They're over there. So we're going on F1 visa. So my husband's also doing PhD studies. We're both LPDP. So yeah. So he did once go to US, but that's on a business visa. So we really don't know how to do with this F1 and F2 visa arrangement, and perhaps okay. Sorry about this. Yeah, so I'm losing my focus now. Okay. My question is that about schooling, because they're both in elementary schooling, so do we need to do certain documents for the F2 visa, and should we apply it together with the F1 visa application? Thank you.
So she's asking about your dependents and your family members that go with you, specifically wives, husbands, children. We have J1s and F1s who are the primary students, and then you have F2s and J2s. Those are your dependents. There are tons and tons of rules about what they can and can't do, and just about anything can be approved as long as it's discussed with Department of Homeland Security ahead of time. But it doesn't necessarily require that you all apply together. Oftentimes it helps, simply because part of the thing we need to know is that you're in a valid relationship, okay? If you've been married for 10 years and you've got a child, and I mean, that's easy. If you just got married, 6 months ago, after you had your appointment at the school, we're going to question you a little harder to make sure it's a valid relationship, okay? But yes, it can help to be together, but you don't have to. The most important one is once the J1's issued, or once the F1 is issued, as long as we believe the relationship, we can issue the J2s and the F2s later. Marriage certificates, birth certificates, pictures from your wedding, that kind of thing. Believe me, it works, it helps. By the way, I want to see pictures. I love pictures during interviews. Every one of you have thousands of pictures on your phones. Guess what you can't take to your interview with you? Your phone. Okay? Just throwing that out there.
Alright, yang sebelah sana yang mau tanya lagi? Iya, yang pakai kaos hitam, pakai kacamata, iya mas.
Hi, my name is Edward. I'm going to Johns Hopkins using Fulbright scholarship. My question is also about visa. I'm going to ask whether or not there are other documents that's necessary for me to bring other than the scholarship form or the passport. Especially 2 documents I want to highlight is the criminal record from the police or SKCK. Do I need to bring that? And the second document I want to highlight is the proof that I have secured housing in the United States.
Good one. Good question. Talking about documents you should bring. Honestly, the more documents you bring, the better. However, I'm going to tell you now, unless you've been arrested for something, I don't need to see your police report, okay? If your police report is just going to tell me you've never been arrested, don't worry about it. If you've been arrested for a major crime, but you were acquitted, you should bring something because I actually do see some of your arrest record, okay? And if you don't bring documentation to explain it, maybe somebody accused you of murder and you were free. It wasn't you. You were somewhere else. I might see that you were accused of murder and arrested, but I may not see the outcome because you never went to trial. So maybe you do want to bring information then. But honestly, if you've done your bachelor's, you've done your master's, and you're continuing on to your PhD, I don't need to see a lot other than I need to know finances. Are you going to pay for it, okay? I need to verify you're a legitimate student. And if you're doing this in a row, high school, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, I can pretty much easily see you are. Now, I'll say this. if you finished your bachelor's degree 10 years ago, and now you're going back for your master's, I'm going to need to understand that. If your company is paying you to go back for your master's, then bring documents, bring things to show me and explain that to me, okay? But honestly, if it makes sense, we're there. First and foremost, are you a credible, legitimate student, okay?
All right. This part, yes, yang mbaknya di belakang. Ya.
Thank you so much. My name is Mercy. I'm over the LPDP also. I would like to ask about visa because, for example, if my parents they want to go to United States for my graduations, so but of course they have a problem with language. Then how can I solve the problem? Because like they're going to your place and probably have an interview, but they cannot speak in English. And is it possible for them if I provide one person to accompany them, and yeah, the person will help them with like their problem language in there when they arrive in America. Thank you so much.
Kalau mereka bicara bahasa Inggris tidak paling penting. Semua pejabat konsulat bicara bahasa Indonesia cukup. And if we have trouble speaking to someone, we have local staff, and we don't hesitate to pull them up and help us understand, okay? If someone is coming to your graduation, I'm going to want to, confirm that you're a valid student. The majority of tourist visas I deny for people going to graduations, and unfortunately it's a few, it's because the student wasn't really graduating. I go look and I find out that their SEVIS was canceled 6 months ago. They hadn't been attending classes. They've been taking the money mommy and daddy's been sending them, and they've been partying. And now they want to come home, so they tell mom and dad that I'm graduating, and that mom and dad's going to come get them. No, okay? That's the biggest reason. And honestly, it doesn't happen often, guys. But if your parents want to come see you and you've been a good student and your SEVIS is valid and you've traveled well, we're going to do everything we can to get your family members there for you, okay? I know how important that is. So.
All right, now, so can we actually give Trent a break? No, just kidding. Just kidding. But just acknowledge the other panelists there. Just kidding. All right, yes?
Thank you. Hi, my name is Aprisal. I am an incoming grad student at University of Michigan Ford School of Public Policy. And I will not ask about visa. So yeah, for other panelists, things that you regret that I should be knowing prior to coming to US, or things that you regret that you should be done before leaving US. Maybe to all the panelists other than Tran. Thank you.
Okay, let's see.
By the way, that's a good question.
So things that I regretted not doing when I was in the States, or something that I should have done before I went to the States. That is a tricky question because no, it is quite subjective, because you will never know what you're going to be faced with whenever you're going there, right? But I do. I wouldn't say it's a regret, but I do wish that I explored more opportunities in terms of employment after my graduation. I'm not really sure about anybody else on the panel, but when I did graduate from my degree, the oil and gas industry was having a hard time trying to pick up itself. So trying to find employment when you're a fresh undergraduate and then you're trying to find a job in the oil and gas industry, it's quite challenging. I think Trent said you have about 60 days to apply for OPT.
No, you can actually apply for OPT anytime in your last year.
Right, last year.
You have 60 days before it has to be submitted and started, yeah. I'm sorry, I was just saying you have 60 days to leave the country or to change your status. So I tell people if you're considering OPT and it hasn't already been approved, you can do that the beginning of your senior year, okay? Yeah.
How about the option for J1, Trent?
For J1? Well, J1 is got the 212E we talked about where you must come back, but even that has exceptions, and this is where it comes in. It's very important that you talk with your designated school official. I did have a J1 just the other day authorized OPT for 2 years, okay? So they worked, and I'm telling you what, they worked and made a ton of money for 2 years. So yeah, it can be done. Designated school official. I think I mentioned that.
Yeah, I had really fun making him talk again, so thank you. Yeah.
We're Americans, we like to talk.
Do you want to add something maybe, Triwik, or Aufa yang masih fresh, like you're currently student?
Yeah, so like based on my experience, like I'm still in the US right now, and I still have like probably like two more years in the US. So so far, like I've been doing a lot of things there, so I don't think I have a regret at all staying there. But probably maybe I can just give you some piece of advice. Just explore things. I mean, you said you're in Michigan, right? I mean, I don't know what's in Michigan right there, but like in my state, I'm staying in Colorado. I've been like hiking a lot, snowboarding, skiing, meet some new friends there, and then joining some organizations both in school and outside of school. I think so I think you should explore yourself there and make some fun, make new friends, and don't hang out with Indonesian a lot. I mean, that's true. I mean, yeah. If you want to get to know more about how the culture works there, just, make connections, make relations with citizens, with local people, hanging out with them, so you can have like, maybe like you have some idea how different the culture is between Indonesia and in the United States.
So Alpha, you're still a student, but you're in Indonesia right now. You're maintaining your status, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Trent is there.
Yeah. I'm in
Alright.
I'm in a summer break right now.
There
so
you go.
yeah.
All right, yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry? No, not yet. Yeah. My visa is still valid, so.
Oke, dari sini ada yang mau tanya lagi? Yes, yang di belakang banget, boleh berdiri.
Hello, my name is Ataya, and I'm a future undergraduate student at Arizona State University. I'm wondering, what do you have to do if you want to transfer schools? Thank you.
Do you want to talk to that? Anybody?
I believe it's already on the slide, right? The answer?
Yeah, the transferring schools is something I highly recommend if you want to. I mean, I tell people all the time, go to America, attend the community college for a couple years, and then transfer to a larger school. Again, the most important thing, designated school official. As long as you're talking to your service coordinator at the new school and the old school and letting them coordinate, you'll be fine. You cannot start studying at a new school until the service coordinator has approved it and changed your service, and you can't stop studying at the old school until it's changed. One of the biggest problems I see is people change schools, they follow all these rules, but then they stop taking classes at their old school. You have to take classes all the way up until the day the service coordinator says you can leave, okay?
And again, even if you're changing, and correct me if I'm wrong, and if you're changing the school, you don't have to worry about the visa, because the visa will mention the old school, and some students ask, oh, does that mean I have to make a new visa?
Yeah, when you leave the country and you want to go back, as long as your service is up to date and valid, even if the visa is still valid with the old school, they're going to let you in. Yeah.
Okay. This area? Ada yang mau tanya lagi? Yes.
Hi, my name is Monica and I'll be going to Duke University to study energy and environment for a master's program. So one of the features of the program is a summer internship. And I hear that people are already looking for it even before the program starts. So I want to ask the panelists, do you have like particular tips to land a really good internship? And does it affect that we're international students? Is it harder for us to get a good internship? So I'm wondering if you guys have tips for that. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to share my experience. So when I was at the States, I had a chance to do internships twice. First, I interned at the Voice of America. So it was for my summer break. So basically, I also asked around people like, how do you guys apply for this internship and things like that. And at the time, it was for summer break. So I applied for the internship around October or November. So the year before, I got the internship in 2015. I started to apply on October or November 2014. So, and then I got accepted around in January or something like that. And also, I got another internship a year later at the UN. So I also started to apply around October the year before. So I started to apply around October 2015. I got the internship 2016. So basically, and you always have to check with the organizations that you're going to apply for. Like for me, at the UN, I checked the UN careers website and when they're starting to open for the internship and things like that. And my suggestions is, it depends on what you're interested in. Like I myself, I was interested in like the UN and then the NGO, intergovernmental organizations. So I kept checking on that, their own websites. And then you can also get the information also from the faculty services, international students, organizations, and things like that. So basically, you need to keep active in checking in informations, and also maybe you can find information from other students, from your cohorts. So, and website is the most reliable sources. So my suggestion will be checked directly on the organization website because they always post their current vacancies or job openings.
Did you find a hard time landing this internship since you are an international student? Like maybe did they ask you about your visa status or something like that?
No, not really. I mean, like it was, so at the beginning, like in the first years, it was kind of challenging. I believe that it was not because I'm international students, probably because of my qualification and things like that. And the second year, I got easier. So yeah, I got accepted in 3 internships actually, but I had to choose one. So it doesn't really matter if you're international student, if you're American, so it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is your qualifications, whether you're fit for the job or not.
Also, on the applications in America, I found this very interesting. We often ask you on these applications for internships if you speak another language. Do you speak another language? I have never seen them ask if you're an American for an internship, not from a college. So you already got a leg up in that regard. They're not looking at you as an international student. They're looking at you just like every other student. And like I said, one of the strong qualifications is being able to speak more than one language. So.
And if you want to start looking around, and this is also for everybody else, around about internship or basically internship in the US, you might want to check idealist.org. Amazing website, a lot of NGOs in there. So yeah, all right. Next question.
If I could I make a suggestion? Because a lot of these questions seem to be about visas, but I can talk to anybody about visas. I'll stick around after this. But I was curious what kind of fears people have, because I think a lot of panelists up here, including myself, could probably answer some questions about the fears they have going to America.
Sure, well, look at that. Like trying to actually ask you a question. What is like your biggest fear? Or mungkin ada yang belum, yes?
Oh, she just wants a ball.
Okay, actually I have a lot of things in my mind because I deal with several students who actually plan to go to US. The first questions I ask them, why do you want to go US? And then what do you think is like your biggest fear? They say, well, miss, I'm trying to go out from my comfort zone, which is I never actually go out of home without my parents. So I'm trying like to see whether I can actually make it there. And then I know that these kids, like I go with them sometimes out of town, and I see how they are really anxious of not having their parents, and they can think of anything. So I was kind of worried if like, for example, like what Ray shared, like they have culture shock, they cannot adapt, and then maybe they stress or depressed to the point that I can't study, this is like too much for me. So how is it like the support in US, or like how will they get help? Because that is very important, like they can't study if they can't deal with their culture shock. And I've seen cases like that a lot.
Maybe I can respond to that. Yeah, actually the culture shock and also feeling lonely is very, I think most of us is experienced with that. So for the first 3 months, I was crying every night. Because like again, it came the question again, why I'm doing this here? Because at the time I was working, I already have like permanent job, I was in my comfort zone. Why I have to do this kind of things? Because, and again, okay, but let's think in positive way, because yeah, I go to US, I get opportunity to get the scholarship, so I will use this wisely. And again, in most of American university, there always a support system. Like in my St. Louis University, there is a counseling department, so you can go and just talk to them. Actually, they're not going to judge you because everybody have the same experience. And they will help you to go through your anxieties and how you're going to have a support. So mostly they will pair you again with the other student. Just like, okay, you can go hang around with these people. Maybe, just to go outside, just to see sightseeing, and you look your neighborhood, because it's really helpful. And again, making contact to your parents or your spouse in Indonesia is also important. Just make them also like in your routine for the first 3 months, because it's really difficult to handle. To be honest, like after 3 months, I already packed my bag and I said I will going back to Indonesia, because I'm not going to survive here. But actually, because that support, and also I talk a lot with my mentor. Again, like Triwik said also, use your mentor not only for academic things, but also for anything, like your personal life, your personal challenges, you can also discuss with them, and they can support you.
Can I add something? So basically, it's already in your mind, right? And you already have like negative thinkings. Oh, I might not be I'm not survive there or whatever. Just stay positively. Yeah. So
I can say that because I experienced that. It wasn't that far, but I experienced that. And when I see that it's going to happen to the students that I care for, that's why I ask the questions.
Okay. So I think my suggestion would be like to stay positive. It's very good. Like you start for something positive. You said to yourself, I'm like, oh, I can do this. If I can survive, you can survive too. Like if I can survive, if we all here could survive, you all can survive. So basically just stay positive. That's the most important thing first.
And then remember the big one though. Lack of fear is not bravery. Okay, that's lunacy. Fear is okay, and if you're not afraid, I'm a little concerned about you, because this is a big deal. All of you are brave. It's how you handle your fear. Know that we're there. We want you to succeed. We want you to graduate. There are people at this school who want you to succeed, and there are programs in place. Seek them out, find them, participate.
Alright, ada yang mau bertanya sebelah sana? Yes, Bapak. Iya, Bapak yang pakai batik ya?
Hi, my name is Dewey. I graduated 1990, way back. Just want to share my experience here. Back then, the phone is so expensive compared to now. You can use WhatsApp. So if you call your parents for 6 minutes, basically that's a lot of money every day. And my question to you is, to all of you guys, the weather and safety for the clothes. Back then I was in Boston. It's not fun. It's fun in certain way. Colorado is very cold, I'm sure. So anyhow, my question is, how do you nowadays quite difficult to make friends because of the gadgets things. Also quite easy to make friends because of your gadget. So how do you, I bring my daughter here with me. It is quite challenging for her to travel alone, my only daughter. And I like to know the girls, the panelist girls, how you survive basically on the first 3 months, maybe first 6. Thank you.
All right, that's a good question. So actually, in terms of cultural shocks or anything, I didn't really experience it. I experienced more challenge in academic things, like what I said earlier about readings and things like that. So in terms of safety and everything, I felt safe when I was there. And also my town is kind of like a small town, so nothing really, what is it, like crazy or something like that. So I live in a couple of cities in the US. First, I arrived in Tucson. So it was pretty hot there, almost 40 degrees Celsius. Oh my God, it was so hot. It was high and dry, yeah, in summer. So, and then I moved to Athens. That's where I studied, in Ohio. And then I used to live in Washington, D.C. and also in New York City. So, yeah, so even in New York City, I mean, yeah, I could survive. I mean, like, people say that, oh, New York City, I mean, like, how's the safety there? It's not safe or whatever. I mean, like, but it was fine. I mean, like, I walk around at 2 a.m. in the morning by myself, taking subway and things like that. So, but I'm here now. And I don't have to tell them. And then I traveled by myself a lot, so I like solo traveling. So I remember during my last month in the US, I traveled around the US by myself. So from Seattle down to California, and then to Colorado, and then to Louisiana, to Florida, and then to East Coast, to New York. So basically in terms of safety, you'll be fine. Yeah, just I mean, it's like here in Jakarta. I mean, like, you know where the places, like, for instance, in like a dark alleys somewhere in Jakarta, of course, you better avoid that. So basically, just use your senses. So, yeah, it's just like any other places around the world. Also here, for instance, you're not going to go, for instance, like in dark alley at 2 a.m. or something like that. Of course, when I was in New York, I didn't really go to dark alleys. At 2 a.m. So basically use your senses. I mean, you'll be fine as long as you know the places that you need to avoid. And then it's always good to go with friends. Well, yeah, I recommend you to always go with your friends if you're not comfortable to go by yourself in the first few months. So yeah, I mean, but as a woman, I mean, you'll be fine as long as you know exactly the information, and then you know the areas, and then you can always ask around the people around, and then maybe your classmates, your cohorts, your professors, and then other people in university, oh, which places that I should avoid, something like that. So yeah, but I will assure you that you'll be fine. I'm fine, so yeah, you'll be okay.
I'd like to add just a little bit. I think an anxiety or a fear before you're going abroad to the United States, I think everybody will have a little bit of a sense of it. I think it's a very, I think it's a very acceptable kind of feeling. But in my personal opinion, I had some of those feelings as well in terms of safety. We went to a very foreign place that we have no idea what we can expect there. Tapi just the confidence that you have from yourself, the realization that fear is, it's not something that you can avoid, right? In terms of safety, campus itu biasanya ada campus police pasti, biasanya juga tersebar di seluruh campus itu ada tiang in an emergency situation itu bisa dipencet. Terus biasanya students juga direkomendasi untuk be a part of the text message alerts. Jadi if there's anything that's dangerous that's happening around the campus, students pasti di-notify. Itu soalnya terjadi beberapa kali di kampus saya itu ada mass shooting di section of the campus. Itu untungnya semua student when it's happening itu kita langsung dapat text message alert dan kita semua langsung disuruh menyingkir dari situ. Gitu in terms of safety sih. Tapi seperti yang Miss Triwik bilang, just be very aware of your surroundings. Kalau misalkan di big cities, don't go by yourself, don't go past areas that you think is dangerous. Be very aware of emergency numbers, bring your phone at all times, gitu, dan just be very confident that you're gonna be okay, gitu.
I am so loving this. We are basically on time, and the ambassador is also here. And can we basically just welcome Ambassador Donovan to be on the stage to give the closing remark?
Hi, selamat sore. Ramadan Kareem. We're delighted, Mecho and I, or my wife Mecho is over here. Mecho and I are delighted to be here and to get a chance to talk to all of you tonight. First of all, did you learn anything today? What did you learn over here? Visas? Okay, now it's time over here. What did you learn over here? Go to a show? Oh, culture shock, yeah. I had culture shock too. I think I did. When I graduated from college, I went overseas for the first time in my life to Korea as an American Peace Corps volunteer. And I was there only for 2 years. And when I came back to the United States, I had culture shock. So it does happen. But in any event, I would like to congratulate all of you for taking this next big step on your educational journey. The objective of this today is to help you understand what you might be running into when you go to the United States, what to prepare for, and everything else. But it will be a great adventure. And I really encourage all of you, when you get to the United States, do things that are beyond your comfort range. Try things that are a little bit unusual for you. You'll get a huge payback for it. Of course, you'll need to study hard, and that's the primary objective, but there are so many other things that you'll be able to do while you're in the United States, and I really encourage you to do that. When you get to an American campus, the classes are very important, yes, the most important, but there are many campus organizations, there are many opportunities for you to get out and do volunteer work, gotong royong, things like that. That will, I've had many friends that have told me that when they first got to their college or university, they didn't know what they wanted to do with their life. But in one case, a friend of mine said he volunteered to work for the campus newspaper, and he became a journalist after that. He fell in love with it. One of my nephews is in college right now, and he's fallen in love with broadcasting, television and radio, and he's doing that too as volunteer part-time in addition to all of his classes. So these will be great opportunities for you. I guarantee that one thing that you'll do when you're in the United States is you'll learn a lot more about yourselves. You'll also learn about the strengths and the weaknesses of the United States. And hopefully also you'll be able to help Americans learn more about Indonesia too. And that'll be a great thing to do. I think it's also very fitting tonight that we're here doing this during Ramadan, a time when both not only here in Indonesia, but Muslims in America also celebrate and observe the holy month of Ramadan. They fast, they have buka puasas, they meet with their their family and friends to break fast. I think what you will find from the American Muslim community is that there are many similarities to yourselves. I've asked many of my American Muslim friends this, and they always emphasize the similarities. But really, there are also great similarities between you and the American communities that you're going to come in contact with. A feeling that it is important to be tolerant, that it is important to respect the rights of others, to respect the rights of minorities. These are values, I think, that you'll find that Indonesians and Americans cherish. In both of our histories, there have been times when people have called into question these values. But in the United States, as in Indonesia, the voices of tolerance and moderation have always prevailed. And I hope for the sake of both of our countries that they will always continue to prevail. So there are many core values between us. In addition to that, for those of you in the audience who are still thinking about, how many of you have not applied to study in the United States yet and are thinking about it? Anybody? Oh, okay, everybody's got it, that's great. Okay, because I was gonna suggest if you know anybody who's thinking of applying and has not applied yet, please encourage them to come in to America and to meet with our American education counselors here, because I'm sure as many of you already know, it's the responsibility of our America counselors here to help people find the best school for the individual, not just the best school for somebody else or the best school in the United States. The key is to find the best fit for you or your friends. So please encourage them to come in, because one of the things that we really want to do is to encourage more Indonesian students to study in the United States, okay? So with that, on behalf of all of my colleagues that are here from the U.S. Embassy tonight, we wish you a very blessed and peaceful holy month of Ramadan. Selamat berbuka puasa. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you. Ambassador Donovan, we've been giving out gifts all day today, kind of. Would you be so kind to pick a number for the next door prize winner? So have your raffle ticket ready.
Okay. This is actually my most important job as American ambassador, to do this. And it's a great honor to be able to speak to you before the door prize. There's no number. 38.
38?
Here? No?
38?
No? Okay.
Going once?
All right. Do
Okay,
another one?
I think we can take another one.
Oh, that's my number. Okay. Yeah. 38? No. 85. There. All right, come on up.
Can you please tell yourself where you're going?
Congratulations. Yeah. All right, now you have to introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, my name is Toefl. I'm with USAID PRESTASI Scholarship, and I'm going to Columbia University.
Don't go yet. We're gonna take a picture with basically all the panelists. Arta, please come on the stage. We're gonna take a picture. And then with all of you, jangan gerak dulu karena nanti kita akan ada foto dengan ambassador juga di sebelah sini dan di sebelah sini. Alright, standing by. And I would like to invite EducationUSA team, including our country coordinator and Karen also.
This is the second thing I do. Help me though.
Thank you.